Let's begin 09 with the illustration. Right from the heart. Right from the heart. Everybody. Every one of us. Right from the middle of your heart, you bring it today. For the guys around you, the rewards are extraordinary. Good luck today, fellas. We're on a hell of a day today. Rocky, talk to us one time.
So grab a hold of it and tell us.
The Los Angeles Coliseum, where today a new type of gladiator hopes to exhort the ghosts of victories past. This is the first battle of a 4-month war, and it begins here before 90,000 screaming adherents.
Remember, this is sacred ground that we're walking on. So let's maximize every opportunity we get to show our talent.
1, 2, 3, roll it! Pete Carroll, the coach of the decade, leads his 4th-ranked Trojans into this venerable old facility to take on a worthy adversary in Dick Tomey and his San Jose State Spartans. It's the season opener of College Football Saturday now.
It is hot and it is humid here in Los Angeles, but that won't deter the 90,000 or so on hand here at the Coliseum. A crowd that simply expects good things from the home team. We welcome you to Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Philips HD. And the hometown Trojans will be led by a child. 18-year-old Matt Barkley won the quarterback job and is filled with confidence. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, my partner for the 6th year in a row, Petros Papadakis. And Petros, USC trying to get it done with an 18-year-old quarterback, first-year freshman. He's trying to do something that has never been done.
No true freshman has ever started the opener for the University of Southern California in their long and storied history. It is Matt Barkley. It's like a coronation. Every eye in the country is on this young kid to see if he really is what everybody says he is. Is he an outlier? Is he that polished as a young guy? I'll tell you one thing, he certainly has a lot of weapons around him. Pete Carroll's looking for Barkley to assimilate into this football team. I suspect they'll keep it pretty conservative with him, but we might get a chance to see that rocket arm.
Well, all that experience that USC does not have at quarterback, San Jose State has.
Well, I like Kyle Reed very much. This is a guy that was very close to having the starting job at the University of California under the great quarterback tutor, Jeff Tedford. Didn't work out there, transferred to San Jose State. He's been a leader at San Jose State. This guy's a good runner. He's a very accurate passer. Reed has been passing at about a 65% clip in his career at San Jose State. That's exactly where you want your quarterback to be in big-time college football. And I'll tell you one thing for sure, Reed is not afraid of this venue.
And one thing I promise you, the Spartans will not be awed. Stars on the offense of both teams, stars on the defense as well. With more on that, here's the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Michael Eaves. Michael.
Well, Barry, this game today features 2 of the premier defensive players in all of college football, and there may not be anyone better than Trojan safety Taylor Mays. At 6'3", 235 pounds, he's one of the more punishing tacklers in all of college football. He would have been a first-round draft pick this past spring, but he told me he turned down millions of dollars to come back to USC to stamp his legacy as one of the best of all time. For Dick Tomey's swarming defense at San Jose State, it's all about getting pressure on the quarterback, and Carl Iannacho has made a career out of wreaking havoc in the opposing team's backfield. He was injured at the end of last season, but still was nationally ranked in fumbles forced, sacks, and tackles for loss. Dick Tomey says there's not a better pass rusher in college football. Well, we're about to find out what those defensive players can do to today's quarterbacks when College Football Saturday rolls on. USC taking on San Jose State.
We welcome you back to the Los Angeles Coliseum. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Michael Eaves, just about to kick off this 2009 Pac-10 college football season, and it is the USC Trojans with high hopes as usual, and San Jose State hoping to do what very, very few teams have been able to do, and that is beat a Pac-10 team like USC. Right now, to the sideline, Michael Eaves. Michael.
All right, Barry, thanks a lot. Pete, never in the history of the storied program has a true freshman quarterback started the season opener. What have you seen in Matt Barkley that gives you the confidence that he will excel in this situation?
He's shown us everything. He's shown the poise, athleticism, the leadership, the toughness, the smarts to show that he can win this job, and he's done that. So we're really excited for him today. But as far as we're concerned, he's the quarterback playing. It doesn't matter how old he is.
All right, Pete, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
All right, Mike.
All right, he's got the weapons behind him, as we said, guys. We'll find out how this true freshman responds today.
All right, thanks very much. And Petros, the simple fact is, San Jose State, of course, knows they got a freshman quarterback. They're going to come after him, according to them. They say, we're going to make them think about stuff.
Well, the San Jose State defensive coordinator, Keith Burns, who used to coordinate defense at USC and Arkansas, he only knows one way to coordinate defense, and that is to get after the quarterback and really cause trouble. And Dick Tomey has allowed him to really express himself this week with his defense, with their hybrid type of guys, strong safety slash weak side linebackers, really fast guys that can run around, get around blocks, and cause havoc in the backfield. If Dick Tomey can get his guys back there, they can really disrupt things for a true freshman quarterback, who I guarantee you, I don't care how polished the kid is, he's feeling nervous right now walking down that tunnel. Everybody's looking at him.
Yeah, no question about it. And they give you a lot of different looks. It's very difficult on a first-year quarterback. San Jose State, as you said, I don't feel they're going to be awed here. They've been in this situation before. They have 29 seniors on this team, and they played back at Nebraska before 86,000 people last year. It was a 14-12 game, I remind you, 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. So San Jose State, and they're better this year. So this is a team that is not going to be in awe. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that they're going to pound on USC, but I really believe they'll be competitive, at least for a while.
Well, they have experience on both lines of scrimmage, and because of that, they will not be afraid of this venue. There's no question about it. What you have to do is just not let the game get on top of you, especially when it's the first game of the season. You just don't need the nerves to get to you. Something bad happens, the crowd gets to you, and it kind of drops through your stomach. If they can avoid that, they'll be okay through the first half at least.
They will have the ball first. USC won the toss. They deferred. They'll take it to start the second half. Harfman will kick it away for USC. Brandon Rutley and Alex Germany will be the deep men for the San Jose State Spartans. So the Spartans will have it first. Harfman to kick it away. And this season is underway. Harfman drives this pretty good, and there'll be no return. Rutley went back about 8 yards deep and said, I'm not doing this. We talked about Kyle Reed. He began his collegiate career at the University of California, came out of a very good program at McClymonds High School in Oakland, albeit a program that offensively is a little bit vanilla, came into the very complex system of Jeff Tedford, and then came over to San Jose State, was the starting quarterback last year. We expect him, incidentally, today to split time with Jordan LaSecla, but it's going to be Reed who starts, and P, you mentioned it right at the get-go, high percentage passer.
Knows what he's doing with the football. It's just a matter of if he's going to get the ball out quick enough.
Patrick Perry in the backfield, and here is a reverse this time. And the flag is down on first down. There's Brandon Rutley coming off the wing, and he picked up about 13 yards, but we'll see about the flag.
Well, we might see a few of those early in this game. It's the first game. There is no preseason in college football. Sometimes guys have trouble lining up.
False start on the Spartans. So we'll replay first down. It takes away a 13-yard gain on the first snap. Probably not the ideal start that Dick Tomey would have wanted. Dick Tomey's another guy, excellent, I believe, at preparing a team for a single game. He's done it many, many times.
Well, he's one of the great coaches in college football, and his quotes all offseason is that we've got to be ready to play right out of the gate this year. There's no growing up this year. We have to come out ready to fight right out of camp.
They go out of the gun on 1st and 15. And this time to give straight aheads to Patrick Perry. Nothing doing, absolutely nothing. He lost about 2 yards on the play. Chris Gallipo with Jerome Casey on the stop for the USC Trojans. Here's the way the offensive line will come to the dance today, and it's an experienced offensive line. Ileapo, 3-year starter on the offense. Patrick Perry, 6th-year senior. We'll talk more about him. Jurevich back from an injury-laden season. And there's Patrick Perry. Clearly the leader of this team. Been around a long time. Second down. There's a quick screen this time. And it's caught by Beachman. Beachman will get it ahead for about 3 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long. Defensively for the Trojans, Wes Horton, Christian Tupou, Jerome Casey just made that last play, and an improving Everser Griffin. Chris Gallipo will be the middle linebacker, and Gallipo is a guy who
about whom many big things were expected when he first came here. He was banged up, injured a little bit, now being asked to take over the large shoes of Ray Maluga. 3rd down, 11. 4-man rush. Reed steps up, throws, catch is made, but it'll be short of the first down. Kevin Jurovich on the reception, but about 2 yards short. Kevin Thomas makes the stop.
Well, there's no question that San Jose came out with a good plan in their first series. That end around they ran to Rutley.
And 6. This time a 5-step drop. Barkley throws, got a man, threw it way over the head of McKnight. So that's strictly a case of nerves there.
Well, pretty smart by Matt Barkley, though, because he recognized double coverage, and that's what they've been trying to get him to do. Throw the ball away. It was Alex Germany who was over there in the area. They had to get him to throw the ball away because this is a challenge of a lot of freshman quarterbacks with great arms. Carson Palmer had the same issue in 1998 here at USC. You have a fantastic arm. Sometimes you try to fit the ball where it's not supposed to go. That was a great play by Matt Barkley, just getting rid of it there.
Kevin Jurovich to receive the punt of O'Malley. O'Malley hits this one high, twisting kick, tough kick to handle. Jurovich does handle it, about 10 yards, steps out of bounds at about the 13. So we'll take our first break. No score early on in this ball game. Each team has had 1 possession. Don't go away, we're coming back to the Coliseum. So the Spartans will start at their own 12-yard line. Kyle Reed, 2 of 2 on his first drive for 13 yards, and they did have a 13-yard gain negated by a penalty.
They came out pretty well. They came out, not a lot of nerves. They did have 1 5-yard penalty, but so did USC and Matt Barkley under center with a 5-yard penalty in their first series. USC's front 7, the brand new front 7, looks pretty good right now, Barry, pretty solid.
They go out of the gun on first down, 3 wideouts in the ball game now. They'll give you a lot of different personnel packages, and they give straight ahead to Perry. Perry bouncing outside, gets a little room to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Running hard across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Patrick Perry, and that's what he does.
Well, there you see the maturity of Patrick Perry. A lot of backs would just run right into the line of scrimmage and wait for somebody to wrap them up, turn their legs, and end up on the ground with maybe a yard gain. But you see Perry there, almost bowling ball, pinball-esque, bounces up and gets the 25-yard run. Finally, Josh Pinkard catches up with him, but this is a kid who's really wearing his big boy pants. Dick Tomey likes to say he's married, he has a child, he's come back from a terrible knee injury, and he's in graduate school.
Kyle Reed sees something he either doesn't like or doesn't understand, and he will call the first time out of the ball game. Well, let's turn to our fearless predictions. Fearless, I tell you. Presented by Phillips HD. San Jose State, first game since December of 06. Missed 2 years, talking about Patrick Perry, of course. 2006 season, which was their bowl season. He came up big time.
Well, he was a great downhill runner at that point, much more of a physical guy, but there you saw he has a little wiggle to get outside. They're shocked with the way Patrick Perry was able to return from the terrible knee injury he had. It wasn't just an ACL, it was a dent in his femur and a lot of bruising. It took him 2 years, and you know how he did it? He lived 4 miles from campus, and he rode his bike everywhere for 2 years, and they said he's come back bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yeah, it's really big. Dick Tomey said, I never saw him once when he wasn't on his bike. So the ball at the 37-yard line. Blitz comes, they pick it up, the option, and Reed has it picked, and I believe the Trojans have it. Let's see. No call yet. Now the Spartans saying they have it. I think Reed was a little confused as to whether he should pitch it. Trojans have it. Whether he should pitch it or whether he should keep it, he wound up doing neither.
Well, it looked like a triple option play where he had the ability to give it to the fullback, and that was probably the right play there, trying to make a move, but the ball was in his hand. It wasn't secured. You see this? He could have given it there to Perry, and just a nice swipe. And Wes Horton ends up with the football. A nice swipe by Chris Calippo to get that ball in there. When guys are in the backfield, Kyle Reed knows better. He's got to protect that football a little bit better. You can't just have it out there when he was looking to pitch and fake. And unfortunate for San Jose State after a nice first down run.
And Reed had some room. So a first down at the 32-yard line of the Spartans now for the Trojans. Give it to McKnight. McKnight, little stutter step, tried to bounce it outside and is dropped from behind. Good pursuit that time. Tanner Burns the first man to him. And now we might have a fumble here again, and we do. And the Spartans get it right back.
So that problem of Joe McKnight's that has bothered him through his first 2 years rears its ugly head again.
Well, last year, Joe McKnight had 4 fumbles and had some trouble fielding punts. He is one of the biggest recruits in the Pete Carroll era. They absolutely love the fact that he has home run ability. They feel like if you give the ball to Joe McKnight enough, he's going to get something going in a big way. Carl Iannacho, the best player on San Jose State's team, pulls off the recovery, and Joe McKnight, still plagued by fumbling issues. You see the ball loose right there, and that is a nightmare early in the season for Joe McKnight.
So San Jose State gets it right back. They have it now at the 28-yard line, so it's just a -3 for them. Here's a reverse again, and coming on reverse is Harrison, fastest man on this San Jose team. He's going to pick up about 9 yards before being knocked out of bounds. So that's a play that has worked twice, although one time was taken back for a penalty. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires helps you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Good to have the blimp, isn't it?
It's always a great feeling. Here at the Coliseum, opening college football season, you got the blimp in the sky, the city of Los Angeles, the USC Trojans on the field, Dick Tomey and his San Jose State Spartans on the field. God, I'm so excited, Barry. Such an exciting time.
It's great, isn't it? Great to kick it off again. Sellout crowd once more here at the Coliseum. Beautiful day, but I'll tell you what, it's toasty warm down there for the players. Spartans did get a first down on that. Here's Perry again, and Perry again reverses directions and gets something out of nothing. He got about 2 before Taylor Mays wrapped him up. He's got a little wiggle on him.
A little more than he used to have, does Patrick Perry. And a nice move to get outside and then get the ball right back up the field. Some of the problem with younger backs is they go outside and they keep going outside and end up getting pushed out of bounds for a loss. But you see there, Patrick Perry doing the right thing, getting his foot in the ground and going upfield and getting a positive gain on first down for the Spartans.
This time they bring Harrison in the slot. Rutley is the setback behind the quarterback Reed. And this time Reed in big trouble. He is cracked, manages to fall forward for a couple, but it's still going to be a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Chris Gallipo and Michael Morgan both coming on that play.
And once again, Chris Gallipo making a big play in the backfield. Second series in a row. He caused the fumble on the last series. Chris Gallipo, 6'2", 250-pound sophomore out of Corona, California, Servite High School. Just a huge recruit for USC at the linebacker position. Finally getting a shot to show out. And there you see the San Jose State coordinators trying to get it all figured out on 3rd and long.
Although both their offensive guys are on the field. Reed to throw, quick screen again. And the grab made by Jurich, and he's got rather by Avery, and Avery's going to be very close to the first down. I don't believe he's going to get it. Got to be at about the 48-yard line, and this would be a real calculated risk for Dick Tomey if he were to go for it here.
Well, that's the second middle screen we've seen San Jose State run for some positive yardage, meaning USC's over pursuing and chasing a little bit, which is something you would expect from a brand new front seven. These guys are all very excited to be in their first game, and San Jose State, I believe, is doing the very wise thing, bringing out Philip Zavala to punt the football.
So Zavala will come on to punt. Damian Williams will be the deep man for the Trojans. And Zavala hits this one high and rather short, twisting kick. And Williams will handle it right about the 10-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will get started. Not a bad kick after all, 43 yards. No return, 7:56 left first quarter, no score. Scoreless game, just under 8 minutes remaining first quarter. We want to remind you, next week the season begins with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Cowboys take on the Buccaneers, or Brett Favre makes his Vikings debut as they battle the Browns. Eagles, Panthers, or Lions, Saints. Then the Redskins will take on the Giants, or the 49ers, Cardinals, or Rams, Seahawks. Coverage begins next Sunday. America's #1 pregame show. That begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check your local listings. Alan Bradford in at the running back spot now, replacing McKnight for the Trojans as they start at the 10-yard line. And again, a lot of movement. And we're going to get a false start, I believe, against USC. Red Ellison might have left a step early.
False start, offense. Number 40, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Exactly right. That is Rhett Ellison, a sophomore, the son of Ricky Ellison, USC linebacker in the 80s, and of course a legend for the Raiders and the 49ers. Just a little bit of nerves here on this USC offense early. Expect them to get Joe McKnight back in the game and get him the ball to get him his confidence back after that fumble. But right now we're getting a chance to look at Alan Bradford at tailback, who is a real downhill runner and a tough guy that USC's been trying to get in the mix for quite some time. He's played fullback and safety and linebacker here at SC. Finally settled the tailback.
Yeah, Pete Carroll really singing his praises when we spoke yesterday at the 5-yard line. And here is Bradford. Bradford on the left side. He's going to be stacked up into a game of about 2. Right now, let's get our first game break of the ball game. We go to the studio with Darren Horton. Darren.
Well, Barry, in Stillwater, number 13 Georgia against number 11 Oklahoma State. Joe Cox finds Michael Moore, 4-yard touchdown, 7-zip dogs and Petros. Cox reportedly has been battling the flu all week. Barry?
Second down and 9 for the Trojans. Ball just across the 11-yard line. Bradford remains the tailback. We expect to see at least 5, maybe 6 USC tailbacks today. They don't drop off a lot.
No, they don't. They're all very skilled. It's just a matter of how many carries is each guy going to get. But I really believe Pete Carroll wants to get a thunder and lightning thing going with Joe McKnight and Alan Bradford early in this game.
3 wideouts in the game for the Trojans. And here's a pitch to Bradford. And Bradford slowed up, but still manages to get about 5 yards across the 15-yard line to about the 16-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4.
Well, USC's new play caller, Jeremy Bates, is a guy who will repeat plays and he will run the football, and he'll be a little more physical with this USC offense than Steve Sarkisian was last year, who's now the head coach at the University of Washington. So a little bit of a coaching juggling going on in the offseason, as there always is in college football. When it comes to USC, they have so much great success and so many hot young coaches, they end up losing guys every year.
They go out of the gun on 3rd and 5. Pressure comes. Barkley in trouble, and he's wrapped up all the way back at the 9-yard line. So it is Mo Mara who gets him, and it could have been any one of 2 or 3 Spartans. And as we said, they give you a lot of different looks. Very tough for a young quarterback.
Well, Matt Barkley, as you can see, a little bit of indecision. USC in the shotgun. I never thought I'd see that. And there comes Mo Mara. Comes in with his hands up but doesn't jump. Great job by Mara getting Barkley down and making sure he secures the sack. Great pressure by San Jose State. They look fantastic on defense thus far.
Jurovich going to be the deep man to receive the punt of O'Malley. He'll hit it right about the goal line. And a returnable kick. Jurovich is going to let it bounce, and it takes a San Jose bounce. And the Spartans will be in business inside the 35-yard line of the USC Trojans when we come back. 6:27 left, first quarter. Scoreless ball game. Don't go away. Scoreless ball game, 6:27 remaining. Spartans with their best field position of the day as they start at the USC 34-yard line.
They got a real opportunity here.
Yeah, what are you saying about that?
They go out of the gun. Muldrow, the running back, a JC transfer at 1,000,000 yards. And here's the reverse again. It's Jurovich, and nothing happening this time. Jurovich going to be dragged down all the way across the 40-yard line. I suspect they will mark this somewhere around the 37. Michael Morgan, not fooled.
Well, Terry Malley and his San Jose State offense coming out and trying to run a lot of end arounds and work the perimeter early in this football game. But this time, you see Michael Morgan, USC Sam linebacker, who started a few games last year, right on top of him, and then the rest of the team gang tackling and swarming, and that's USC defense we've seen in the past.
Loss of 3. Patrick Perry back in now at the running back spot. Reed at quarterback. Trojans show blitz. Now they come to the late blitz, and Reed one option to Jurovich, his intended receiver. Wasn't going to go too far, but Jurovich was open on the comeback.
It seems like right now the Spartans are content with running zones into the USC defense, into that new front 7, and trying to get things underneath and get their guys through the new front 7 with middle screens and hitch routes. We'll see if they take a shot later in the game.
New kickers for San Jose, so I would think they would need a little bit more yardage if they're going to really seriously think about field goal from here. 3rd down, 13. Nickel defense for the Trojans. And I think the Trojans jump. We'll see who this is going to go against. Maybe he was drawn across. One of the Trojans came across, but we'll see.
False start. Offense.
Well, it's going to go
Number
against
65.
San Jose.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
See if Fred Coloto
drew the USC player across.
Well, it's Fred Coloto and it's Emerson Griffin. Let's watch him. And there you see Griffin move and Coloto moves.
I thought Griffin moved first, to tell you the truth.
They really could have called that either way.
Meantime, it's 3rd down and 18. And again, the Trojans showing blitz. And they back out of the blitz. 4-man rush. Reed throws. Catch is made by Jurevich. Jurevich slips one tackle. Gets it down about the 34-yard line. And we'll see if that's enough to give the San Jose State Spartans a chance at a field goal. Mays and Jones make the stop. And decision time for Dick Tobey. Just underway in this ballgame. 5 minutes, 19 seconds remaining. First quarter, scoreless ballgame. Each team has one turnover. An errant punt by the USC Trojans has given the Spartans some good field position, but they're going to go for it on 4th down. And
that's the guy they want to get it to. Jurevich, the bottom of your screen.
They need a lot. Again, Trojans show blitz. They come to the blitz right up the middle. Pass caught by Jurevich, and I think it's enough for a first down. What a play by Reed. Right in the teeth of a blitzing linebacker.
Kyle Reed dealt with the blitz beautifully there and got rid of the ball, and it looked like it was going to be too high for Kevin Jurevich. You see Reed paying the price. Just a vicious hit.
What a play on 4th and 9.
Malcolm Smith just putting his helmet onto the chin of Kyle Reed, but a great pass and a better catch by Kevin Jurevich in the one-on-one situation against Pinker.
And the Spartans are going to call their 2nd timeout. So they will have only one timeout remaining here in the first half. And I don't know if this is perhaps because Reed might have got his bell rung on that last play, or if he just saw something defensively that he didn't like. Kyle Reed, though, very much under control. You got to like the way he's controlling this game.
Very much under control, and I like the way Terry Malley, the quarterback coach and the play caller for the Spartans, brand new this year out of the Arena Football League. For a long time, he was an absolute staple with the San Jose Sabercats in the AFL, and he's calling this game beautifully right now, getting the Trojans underneath and moving the football.
Yeah, Terry Malley is a great innovator. He was so in the Arena League. He comes up with things that really, I hate to say it, you always say there's nothing new in football, but the fact is, sometimes there are new things. So first down at the 24-yard line. And here's the reverse again. This is Rutley on the reverse, the short side, nothing doing. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Well, let's take a look at the fearless predictions. These made by Emerson Griffin. Tied for the team lead last year at 4.5 quarterback sacks. Started 2007 as a true freshman, but talking to the USC coaching staff, and they say the biggest thing about him is how much he's matured.
Yeah, and Jethro Franklin, his defensive line coach, had a lot to do with that. According to Pete Carroll, Emerson Griffin, pretty much known as a freak, one of those guys that is just a great body guy that comes off the edge and can just raise havoc in a backfield.
Second down now. Play fake this time. Beachman, and Reed threw it over his head, defended pretty well by Will Harris. Reed now 5 of 7 for 44 yards. Jurevich has caught 3 of those for 28 yards, including the 9-yarder on 4th down.
And so far we have seen the efficiency of this San Jose offense. Very conservative, very quietly getting it done, just trying to inch their way down the field and survive against this Trojan front.
3rd down, a long 10. 4-man rush. Reed throws, and it's incomplete. Again, kind of a comebacker intended for Beachman. And Reed, I think, maybe thought he was going to break the other way. So now it's 4th down, and this will bring on the field goal team, I believe. And they were talking, when we were at the San Jose practice up in San Jose, they were talking about the kicking game could be an Achilles heel for this team. Tyler Cope, who has been inconsistent even in practice, will try the field goal. It'll be about a 41-yarder. He hit it pretty good. It's got a chance. And it is good. So the Spartans have drawn first blood here, and they're on the board.
3-0 with 3:36 remaining in the first period.
Well, at this point, the Spartans could not be playing it any better. They've been conservative. They've taken a couple chances here and there when they've had to, and they've been playing field position very well, forcing a punt out of USC, taking advantage of the field position, and getting a field goal.
Well, we talked earlier about the fact that they will not be awed by playing in front of 90,000 people. Last year, on September 6th, they went back to Lincoln, Nebraska, played in front of 86,000 people, got to the Nebraska quarterback. Adonis Davis that time made that sack. And then it was Kyle Reed, a 12-yard touchdown run. They missed the extra point. Nebraska coming right back, though, the 10-yard touchdown run. And then it was Lucky, the outstanding running back for Nebraska, took it in. But San Jose State trailed 14-12, 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. They missed a couple of field goals. And then Nebraska returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and it all kind of caved in on the Spartans after that. And they wound up losing 35-12, but gutsy performance nonetheless.
An invaluable experience gained on a road trip like that for a program like Dick Tomey's. Dick Tomey has been in San Jose a little while. He's building this football team. He's really turned the thing around. They have excitement involved now in San Jose. They have a lot of people very happy about the program, more attendance, better academic standards. They're just doing a great job building the program.
Now the kickoff, a short kick. It's going to be C.J. Gable at about the 12-yard line. He can scoop to the 20. Little gap, 25-30. Tries to step outside. Dragged down from behind about the 38-yard line. Good return by Gable. Peyton Thompson makes the stop. 24-yard return off a rather short kickoff. Well, let's talk about, we talk about student athletes all the time. Let's talk about the student part of the student athlete. Academics always big here at USC, of course, and the Byers family. Jeff Byers has already earned his degree in business administration. He's a two-time member of the all-academic team, working now on his master's in business, and in fact is only a few credits away from getting that master's.
Starting at center today, usually he's going to start at guard, but Chris O'Dowd is not going to play in this football game. Just a very polished young man.
Stephon Johnson now in at tailback for the Trojans, who start at the 38-yard line. And Barkley rolls out, going to throw, goes underneath to his tight end McCoy. McCoy makes the catch, lost the ball, ball still loose, scramble, and I believe the Spartans are going to get it back at the 40-yard line. McCoy made the catch, had the ball swatted loose. Tui Pelutu made the tackle, knocked the ball loose, and recovered the ball himself.
I'll tell you what, there's a reason the San Jose State Spartans are top 25 in NCAA defense, and they're coming back and doing it again this year. They have a real strong emphasis on turnover margin. Nice play by Matt Barkley, short pass. They get the tight end involved again on the short pass, but Anthony McCoy just coughing the ball up. Not a lot of ball security there. You got to have both hands on the ball in that situation. And we're seeing these young, fast, very athletically skilled defenders for San Jose State causing trouble for USC.
Jordan Lasecla is in the ballgame at quarterback now. We said they were going to use two quarterbacks. This is by design. Kyle Reed went the first distance. Now it's Lasecla. Lasecla throws on first down, batted in the air. And it'll be an incomplete pass. Let's go to Michael Eaves. Michael.
Yeah, Barry, when San Jose State stopped USC on the previous possession, defensive coordinator Keith Burns brought his entire defense together. He said, guys, every time they've had a first down, they've ran the ball. So the next time we go out there, look for play action, be ready to react. That's exactly what they did. They reacted, they forced a fumble, second forced fumble so far this game for San Jose State.
There's a good look right there at Keith Burns. He's a fire and brimstone guy, isn't he?
That's exactly who he is, and they're one of 5 schools to be in the top 20 in turnover margin in the last 3 years. They know how to do this, and they're doing it right now in the Coliseum.
Second down and 10. Lasecla straight back with time. Throws over the middle, through into traffic. Tough pass. And knocked away from behind by Malcolm Smith. Intended for Kevin Juravich. Lasecla was a guy only threw a few passes last year, but made a marked improvement under the tutelage of Terry Malley in the offseason.
They say his footwork has improved along with Kyle Reed's. Their footwork has improved exponentially. And he's a guy, it's nothing about Kyle Reed not performing, but Lasecla's played so well, he's earned playing time. And this is what he's getting right now.
So third down and 10. They're 0 for 4 in third down conversions. 4-man rush. Lasecla with time, going deep this time, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver. It's intercepted, but I believe out of bounds. Will Harris was there. So a tough series for LaSecla. Spartans go 3 and out, and we'll give it back to the USC Trojans.
Well, that's a break for the USC Trojans after the turnover. Again, a lot of new guys on that front seven. 3 new starting linebackers, 3 new starting defensive linemen. It's a hot day and it's the first game, and they got blessed with a 3 and out there, forcing it.
So Zavala will come on to punt. Williams, the deep man. End over end kick. Williams runs up, handles it, is knocked down immediately. Good stop that time on special teams by Peyton Thompson. 32-yard punt, no return. Trojans will begin at about the 26-yard line. 2 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It's been a long quarter. Well, the Pac-10, pretty good bowl season as the days in. Scoreboard tells us they played 5, they won 5. Trojans beating Penn State, Oregon handled Oklahoma State. Oregon State, the pitchers duel with Pitt. They all won. Stephon Johnson, the tailback now, behind Barkley. This is Stephon Johnson. Johnson trying to get to the edge, and he is cracked as he tried to cut it inside. Picked up about 4. Mohamed Marah on the stop for the Spartans.
And Marah's been involved early in this football game, already has a sack. This San Jose State defense is running to the ball, swarming, and playing pretty pesty defense on this USC offense, who's got to be getting frustrated. Stephon Johnson is the 3rd tailback we've seen now, maybe the best all-around back as far as protection, running the ball and catching it.
Gain of 6 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4. See the Spartans move around defensively. Johnson again, same play. And a better result this time. Johnson has cracked, stayed on his feet, gets across the 40 to the 42, and picks up the first down, mostly on second effort. Duke Iheanacho makes the stop.
Pretty simple zone right play. Justin Cole, the middle linebacker, was walled off, and Stephon Johnson had a little lane and was able to finish the run very physically. And you see how excited he is right now, because this USC tailback situation is very competitive. You might get a couple carries and score a touchdown. You might not see the ball again for the rest of the game because there's only one football and they have so many guys.
So first down at the USC 42-yard line. McKnight back in the ballgame at tailback. And here's a pitch to McKnight. Try to get him in space, and no place for him to go. Cut it back, got back to the line of scrimmage. Carl Iheanacho not allowing any of that.
Really a good play by Carl Iheanacho in that situation, and Justin Cole, they tried to suck them in and get him on the flip with Joe McKnight. Joe McKnight's a guy that Pete Carroll would like to see out in space because he really is electric out in space, but nothing doing there. Great disciplined defense by the Spartans, and I gotta say it, they're pretty impressive so far against this vaunted USC offense with all these great weapons.
Very quick sideline to sideline. Johnson back in the ballgame at tailback. Play fake. Barkley going to go up. He's in trouble. Man in his face, throws it away. Carl Iheanacho right in his grill, and a good play by Barkley to get rid of the football.
Again, Carl Iheanacho doing a great job getting in that Trojan backfield. They're having a hard time blocking him. A good job by Matt Barkley as well, just getting rid of the football. USC taking a shot with their young quarterback, finally letting him throw down the field a little bit. But again, down the field, just throwing it away. USC very conservative early in this football game.
Barkley 2 of 4, 20 yards. And now looking at a 3rd down and 9. Split backs this time, 6 defensive backs on the field now for the Spartans. Out of the gun once again. A pitch this time to McKnight. McKnight trying to get outside. Now he cuts it inside. Nothing doing. It'll be stopped after a gain of about 4. Peyton Thompson, who has been very active. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Overstock.com at home with them.
The O.
Thank you. So O'Malley on to punt it away again. Hits this one pretty good. High twisting kick. Fair catch called by Jurovich, and makes it at the 6-yard line. So a very long field for the Spartans, but give it up for the Spartan defense as they are doing an excellent job against the USC Trojans here. Well, this is kind of deja vu really for Pete Carroll, because his first game at USC. September 1st, 2001. Mark Sanchez was the quarterback. These same San Jose State Spartans.
Well, there you see Sultan McCulley had a big game, almost about 150 yards. Carson Palmer was the man under center for the USC Trojans. And there you see Pete Carroll getting his first victory at USC. Talked to him this week about it. Only about 47,000 in the stands for that game. And Carroll said, well, this is college football?
Yeah, now he's got twice as many. But it is still college football. Patrick Perry on first down. Picked up about 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8. That may be the last play of the first quarter. It will be. And first quarter, I think, to kind of put in the scrapbook for the San Jose State Spartans. And really, I don't think unexpected for those of us sitting at this table up here. We expected this team to battle, and so they are. 3-0 ball game. End of the first period. The San Jose State Spartans leading the hometown USC Trojans. Don't go away. Second quarter action coming up.
You can't get Kentucky Grilled Chicken on a value menu.
Yeah, you can. Now you can get the great taste of new Kentucky Grilled Chicken for just $1.99. The new Kentucky Grilled Chicken Value Box, only on the KFC Ultimate Value menu. Unthink, it tastes the under $2 side of KFC.
Would you like to spend a little more time on the things worth spending a little more time on? Then you belong at Bass Pro Shops. This week, Under Armour long sleeve tech t-shirts are just $24.99, and Bushnell rangefinder is only $119.94.
Here's to life's simple pleasures.
No, it's not easy to save with 3 grown boys.
Not just 3 boys, triplets.
3 cheeseburgers with fries, 3 football uniforms.
Guys, just take turns. Everybody get a chance to lean back. If we're fair.
3 college educations.
We showed them how online tools that come free with their Wells Fargo checking account could help them manage their expenses and save automatically. Times 3.
There you see, he's a 4th triplet.
Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. All right, people. Mr. Opportunity here, and that means it's Honda clearance. So, if you ever wanted to find out why Honda has the highest owner loyalty in the business, well, now's the perfect time. Oh, and with numbers like these, I'm thinking it's going to be a match made in heaven. Just let your Honda dealer do the introductions. The 2009 Honda clearance. It's the only thing from Honda that won't last. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and once again, I'm knocking.
We welcome you back. 3-0 ball game as we start the second quarter, and it is the San Jose State Spartans who lead. They also have the football, but starting deep in their own territory at about the 8-yard line, looking at a 2nd down and 9. Sekla remains the quarterback out of the gun. Muldrow now is the tailback. Sekla to throw. Now he has trouble. Rolls away. Throws a comeback or incomplete. Intended for Michael Avila. So the Sekla 0 for 4. Trying to throw the ball. So it's coming on for Kyle Reed.
This Trojan defense getting a lot of work so far in the first half. Been out there for a few plays. San Jose State doing a good job of holding on to the football and eking out yardage, and I think they're very smart to match USC's conservative game right now and keep on hanging in there.
Trojans with a nickel defense here on 3rd down and long. Sekla out of the gun. Steps up, throws. It is caught by Jurovich, and I think he's going to be short of the first down at about the 15-yard line. Let's take a look at our eHarmony stats from the end of the first quarter, and very comparable. San Jose State, 67 yards of offense. USC, 77 yards of offense, 22 of them coming on their very first snap. The Trojans turned it over twice. Barkley 2 of 4 for 20 yards at this, his first career start. Most important stat, though, is the scoreboard, and there the San Jose State Spartans lead it, 3-0. Trojans ostensibly should get some good field position here, though, as Zavala comes on to do the punting, and Damian Williams, the deep and short, twisting kick. And Williams handles it at about the 40-yard line, tries to run laterally, and still on his feet. Now he's got room. He's midfield. He's at the 45-yard line, and might have blown a shoe there. I think he lost the shoe.
And that slowed him up. Otherwise, he was going to go. 40-yard punt, 10-yard return. The punter Zavato makes the stop. And the Trojans will have it in very good field position when we come back to the Coliseum.
Want the lowest price guaranteed on quality carpet?
Empire exceeded my expectations, especially when we got our quote. The two major retailers we originally approached were much more expensive.
Empire offers the lowest price guaranteed, plus shop-at-home convenience. We install next day with no payments for 1 year.
The quality of our installation was top-notch. We'll recommend Empire to anybody.
Call today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Do you know who's going to be hard at work this Labor Day? Well, if your mattress is over 8 years old, millions of hungry dust mites. So Sit and Sleep is having a giant Labor Day sale. Save $1,100 on Sealy luxury queen sets and $400 on super premium queen size sets from Sealy Posturepedic. Pay nothing for 1 whole year, plus get delivery and a bed frame free. So don't miss the Labor Day sale that'll put those dust mites out of work for good. Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price, or your mattress is free.
13:56 remaining first half. San Jose State clinging to a 3-0 lead. Trojans will have it in San Jose State territory. They'll start right at about the 45-yard line following the punt return by Damian Williams. Knight in the ball game at tailback. Barkley under center. Long count this time. Give it to McKnight. McKnight starts to the left side and puts his head down. We'll get about 3. And it'll be 2nd and 7. San Jose State really has dominated the time of possession so far. They've run a lot more plays than USC. Here's what the Trojans have done. 4 plays, 21 yards in their first series, and they got 22 on the first snap. 1 of 4, and then a fumble. And 3 for -1, and they fumbled again. And 5 plays for 21 yards.
They have a golden opportunity here. That was a physical run by Joe McKnight.
2nd down and 6. Barkley this time rolls out of the bootleg, throws underneath, pass caught, first down. Bealey, the fullback, inside the 30 to about the 28. Best play of the ball game for the Trojans, 13 yards. Tanner Burns makes the tackle for the Spartans.
Well, this has been USC's offense ever since Pete Carroll showed up, whether Norm Chow or Lane Kiffin or Steve Sarkisian is coordinating, and now Jeremy Bates and John Morton just getting the quarterback on the move. You have a guy like Stanley Habili, a fantastic fullback who can catch the ball and run the ball from the backfield. Just a solid play. Nice play by the freshman.
First down at inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line, a little short of the 28. Spartans jumping around again defensively, and they give to McKnight. McKnight can't quite split people and picks up about 3.
Now, I think it's pretty important on this drive for USC to have some kind of success, a touchdown or a field goal, get some confidence going with this young quarterback, make him feel like he is a playmaker, like he is everything that Pete Carroll has told the world that he's going to be. And I have no doubt that Matt Barkley's going to be a star, but they're being very conservative with him early, trying to get Joe McKnight back on track after the fumble, and he looks very physical on this drive thus far. USC with a good chance here.
McKnight 7 carries, 44 yards. 2nd and 7. McKnight again. This time he gets the corner. He breaks it. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5, and out of bounds. Stepped out, they're going to say, at about the 15-yard line, but it will be a USC first down. If he gets to the edge, it's over.
Well, if he gets to the edge, he can get to the end zone in a big hurry, almost a deceptive gliding type of speed, and you're going to see a very nice block all the way on number 93, Justin Cole, getting walled off. And that's the most physical I've ever seen Joe McKnight run. He runs right over Tanner Burns. Nice blocking on the edge by the Trojans.
First down at the 15-yard line now. Deepest penetration for the Trojans. McKnight again, right up the gut, nothing doing. Stopped immediately this time. Carl Iannaccio with a shoestring tackle. He was blocked pretty well, reached out, grabbed him.
Well, watching Carl Iannaccio so far in this football game, we were told by Dick Tomey last night that he could be the greatest player in the history of San Jose State University, and that's not a stretch to say. I mean, this is a guy who is only a 3-year starter in college and only played 1 year of high school football, but he is a terror out there.
Yeah, didn't put the gear on until he was a senior in high school. Play fake this time and a bootleg. Barkley throws this time a comebacker, and it is caught at the 5-yard line by Osbury. Good ball thrown by Barkley, who's getting his confidence here.
Well, you're starting to see what USC wants to do offensively in this football game. They want to run the ball. They want to be very conservative. There you see they get Barkley once again on the move, out in the open. And that's a good look at the arm that the young man has. Put it in a place where only Osbury can get it. Osbury gets down, gets the ball. First down and goal, Trojan.
Numbers on Barkley, 4 out of 6 now, 43 yards. And San Jose State has just called its last timeout of the half, so they will have no timeouts remaining. Ball inside the 5-yard line at the 4. And that pass by Barkley particularly impressive because remember he's rolling in the opposite direction, having to throw across his body, and still got a lot on that ball.
They've had a little bit of trouble with Matt Barkley as far as interceptions go because of that great arm, especially when he's running the opposite direction. When he's running to his right, he's had a tendency in practice to throw it a little bit into coverage, but right there he looked fantastic.
3 games next week. A college football Saturday triple dip. Number 21 Iowa battling Iowa State in a showdown of intrastate rivals. Iowa getting all it wanted from Northern Iowa today. And then Houston faces Big 12 powerhouse number 11 Oklahoma State. They got a tough game today as well, don't they? And in the nightcap, Purdue will visit number 14 Oregon. A huge Big 10 Pac-10 matchup. Action kicking off at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Oregon, of course, not only licking its wounds, but having all kinds of consternation up in Eugene. And Purdue struggling with Toledo today, but did come away with the win. Stephon Johnson in the ball game now. First and goal. Here it is, Johnson, touchdown. Alex Parsons clears the way, and Johnson steps into the end zone untouched.
Oh, you said it, Barry. Great job by Alex Parsons and Jeff Byers. You see them open up the hole on the zone play. Just a very good job by selling the front side. There you see the center. That is Byers just coming through and walling off the play. Great job selling the front side of the zone play by Stephon Johnson and making the cutback rolling into the end zone.
And the Trojans will go in front for the first time with 10 minutes and 47 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. A short drive, but it was a drive that really mentally, I think, did an awful lot for this USC team. Blocking up front was excellent. Barkley coming of age as a quarterback. They did everything right. Punched in from 4 yards out. Johnson gets the score. Trojans on top, 7-3. 30-yard line, that's where the Spartans will begin. Knows the football will be just about on the 30-yard line, and we'll see who Dick Tomey brings back at the quarterback position, and it is going to be Jordan Lasecla. Lasecla has struggled since coming on for Kyle Reed. 1 of 5 for 7 yards. Don't believe that Kyle Reed is injured. At least we've had no reports to that extent, although he did take a really serious shot. Goes down at the 30, out of the gun once again. And to give this time to Perry, and Perry runs right in to Jarvis Jones. Jones was coming on a blitz, and Perry just ran right into him.
Well, it's going to be difficult to run slow developing perimeter run plays against this USC defense. They're just too fast sideline to sideline. Athlete for athlete, the talent gap is pretty wide between the Trojans and the Spartans. And that time, just too long to develop that play. Perry never really had a chance to get upfield.
So again, in a long yardage situation, 2nd down and 1, and they give to Perry straight ahead this time. Perry running hard. Picks up about 8 yards on the play. Gets it maybe 9 yards. Gets it back to about the 38-yard line. Going to be 3rd and 2. Gallipo took a little bit of a ride. Finally wrestled Perry down.
And it wasn't easy to do. That was a very physical run by Patrick Perry, and that's what San Jose State's going to have to do in their run game if they want to continue to get first downs and continue to stay in this football game. They have to go downhill at this very physical Trojan front seven. 3rd
down and a yard. Lasecla this time going from under center. Perry the tailback. Give it to Perry once more. Perry stutter steps. Now he's got the first down and more. Across the 45, about the 47-yard line. He's got good feet, doesn't he?
Amazing feet to see right there. That's a very brave move. And once again, Chris Gallipo on the tackle. But an amazing move by Patrick Perry. You know, so many backs get impatient when it's a short yardage situation, and they won't make that little move right there that you saw with his feet at the line of scrimmage. But that was the move that opened up the hole, and then Perry got through it. But again, straight at the USC defense. They don't have any time to go side to side. Trojans are too fast.
Muldrow back in the ball game now. JC transfer in his first year at San Jose State. And this is Muldrow. It's quick, I'll say that. He's going to get short of midfield, about the 49. Picked up about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Malcolm Smith on the tackle. New linebacking core, of course, for the USC Trojans. All 3 linebackers from last year drafted in the 1st round of the NFL draft. Now it's Malcolm Smith, Chris Gallipo, and Michael Morgan, and they're getting it done today. These are some of the players that USC lost off of last year's team, and you know what? So what?
There's only 3 Rose Bowl MVPs on that list there, Perry.
That's right. And they're still darn good. Lasecla quick toss this time, and a catch made by Harrison. And Harrison's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down, inside the 45-yard line. Gallipo and Taylor Mays on the stop.
You know, as long as San Jose State can get positive yardage on first down with the run game or this underneath passing that they've been so successful with, whether it's Juravich or Harrison catching the football or Beachman, they're doing a great job getting positive yardage on first down. This is a very manageable 3rd down situation for the Spartans now.
3rd down, just a little more than a yard. Perry back in at the tailback spot. This is Perry once more. Perry, I believe, is going to get the first down again. And the Trojans are saying fumble, and they have it. No sign. Still no sign by the officials. And still no sign. Pete Carroll on field saying it's our ball.
Pete Carroll's almost at the hash mark.
And the discussion amongst the officials now. It was all in very close quarters, very difficult to see. I didn't see the ball come out, but that's not to say that it didn't.
Well, you saw the reaction from the defense and the offense that it looked as if the ball came out, and obviously that's what they're discussing.
USC ball. And Dick Tomey saying, what's that all about?
Jarrell Casey looks like the guy who came up with it. There seems to be a lot of confusion on both sidelines as to how that whole thing happened. But like you said, it happened in close quarters. Patrick Perry here, just right up the middle, very physical, runs into his own guy, and he's keeping that leg pumping, and there you see the ball pop out and just kind of land in the arms of Jarrell Casey, the sophomore.
The ball did come out. You can see in the left corner of your screen there, the ball did come out before the knee went down. So I think a good call by the officials. Trojans have it at the 42-yard line. Stephon Johnson remains the tailback. Here is Johnson trying to change direction, and he stopped right about the line of scrimmage, right around the yard. Tui Pelutu makes the stop for the Spartans.
Well, there's 90,000 people today on a hot day in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum that want to see the live arm of their true freshman quarterback for USC, Matt Barkley. But right now, play caller for the Trojans, Jeremy Bates, is just not cooperating. The only time we've seen Barkley really throw down the field is when he's throwing it away.
2nd down and 9. Out of the I formation again. 16 runs, 6 passes for the Trojans. Here again, play fake. Now he rolls right, and he throws wide open. This time is Williams at the 40-yard line. Blown coverage there by the Spartans. And a pickup of 17.
It really looks like the Trojans have continued to set San Jose State up with these movement plays, rolling Barkley out and getting it either to a tight end or to a fullback in Stanley Avili. That time he had Stanley Avili again for a good gain. but he opted to take the outside route with Damian Williams, who was just standing there, like you said, Barry, all by himself. A nice read by the freshman. Blown coverage by Devin Newsom.
So now the ball at the 40-yard line. 2 new corners, remember, for San Jose State. The strength of their defense is the down 7. Quick screen this time for Williams. Got room. 35. Trying to step outside. Still on his feet. 25 to the 20 to the 15. Good block inside the 10 about the 8-yard line. Gain of 33. Much of it on his own.
And that play was made, though, right off the bat by Charles Brown, the big 6'5", 285-pound, fifth-year senior out of Chino, California. He came out on that middle screen and just got that big body in the way. You see him out there, everybody's got to run around him, and that gave a lane for Damian Williams to get up the field. And then he did start to do it himself, really with a nose for the end zone. Does Damian Williams have one of the better receivers in the country?
6 of 8 now for 93 yards for Barkley. Starting to get his legs. Ball at the 6-yard line. Barkley gives to Johnson. Johnson spins out of the tackle and gets it down to about the 2. Right now, Trojans just taking it to the Spartans.
Well, that's just pure athletic ability. Tanner Burns ends up making the tackle, but not before Stephon Johnson really makes a big something out of what was going to be a loss of yardage. And USC is taking it to the Spartans right now, but they're still being very conservative, short passes and running the football and eating up the clock. San Jose State just can't afford to turn the ball over like they have been against this team.
Second down at the 2-yard line. Johnson again, outside, race to the end zone, touchdown Trojans. Just like that, the Trojans have taken this game by the throat.
Well, once again, the USC offensive line doing a good job sealing everything up like spackling paste and allowing Stephon Johnson to get the edge. Looked like he could have walked there.
Congdon to try the extra point, gets it up and through. Well, Barkley, as you said, starting to get great confidence now. This little quick screen this time to Williams. Looks one way, comes back to Williams the other way. Williams steps inside, and after that, he's gone. Well, a touchback on the kickoff. And so San Jose State will start at its own 20-yard line now, and a very important possession, I think, Pete.
Well, this is all about San Jose State finding a way to get some first downs. Now, so far, it seems like Pete Carroll and his defensive coordinator, Rocky Cito, first-year defensive coordinator's philosophy is to let San Jose State throw the ball underneath and dare them to run the ball at this Trojan defense. They've had some success running the ball at the Trojans, but Patrick Perry fumbled and gave it back to USC in the last possession for them. They're going to have to take a shot eventually here.
And this time they give on a reverse to Avalon. Avalon not going to get much. Might get back to the line of scrimmage. Those plays are not going, as you said. Anything that takes a whole lot of time to develop could be a serious problem, and has been so far. Here's our game summary so far. Stephon Johnson, a couple of touchdown runs. Remember, he had 9 last year. Barkley in his debut, not bad. 6 of 8, 93 yards, pretty conservative. And USC now, 180 yards of offense. The Spartans 102. Turnovers, though, the big difference, and the Spartans have given it back to USC.
I love you. Shout out to everybody, baby. DD3.
Inside handoff this time, and nothing doing. Gallipo stopping. Muldrow on the play.
Chris Gallipo's been very active, making many, many tackles for this Trojan defense early in the game, and that's what the Trojans expect from their middle linebacker. He's got to be a sideline-to-sideline guy, which Gallipo is, pretty fast for a 250-pound kid, and he's also very strong, like you saw there in the A and the B gap. I would like to see Patrick Perry run the ball a little more for San Jose State. These other guys just not physical enough going into the line of scrimmage.
So that was the 6th play for a loss by the USC defense. Now 3rd and long. In trouble as the second wrapped up all the way back inside the 10-yard line. Trojans right now operating on all cylinders. Jarrell Casey, who's come up big so far today, and a fumble recovery a moment ago, gets the sack right here. And Spartan's going to have to give it back to the Trojans, and ostensibly in pretty good field position.
And a fine play by Jarrell Casey, just breaking through the line of scrimmage, and for a 300-pound kid, finding his way out and tracking down LaSecla on the rollout. LaSecla's pretty nifty with his feet. After the fumble recovery, then a sack. Jarrell Casey having a great second quarter.
Last 4 San Jose State possessions, 3 punts and a fumble. Joe McKnight's now the deep man to receive this punt of Zavala. He hits this one pretty good, but it could be returnable. Back at the 38-yard line. McKnight slips the first. Gets by the second. It's a great block. Now he's in midfield. 45 to the 44-yard line. What a great block he got back at about the 41-yard line. Right now, let's go to the sidelines. Mike Leaves. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, Barry, when we were talking to the USC coaches yesterday, they said one of the luxuries of having such depth on this team is they can keep everybody fresh. You've seen constant rotations on both sides of the ball with new bodies always coming in. Dick Tomey doesn't have that luxury with his San Jose State guys on both sides of the ball. You can really tell when they come off the field, they're a little fatigued. The heat is starting to get to them. They're trying to keep them cool, but they simply don't have the depth that USC has on the other side of the field. Plus, they also don't have the scholarships either. Remember that. They're down 10 scholarships on that side.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. It's tough. I mean, it's tough playing in here under the best of circumstances, but when you start turning the ball over, there's a rollout off a play fake by Barkley, and now he's going to tuck it away and run, and he won't get much. About a yard after all of that. Save up to 70% off brand names every day at Overstock.com. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
USC continuing to get Matt Barkley on the move, get him out of the open field where he can see his receivers and kind of run with them. And I think that's a great philosophy and a luxury for the Trojans to be able to do that early in this game with their young quarterback. Another tailback in the game for the Trojans, Mark Tyler.
Didn't expect to see him quite this early.
Back out again.
Yeah, Bradford in the ballgame now. Here's Bradford into the open. 30, 25, one man to beat at the 10. Touchdown, Trojans. 43 yards.
Well, they brought Mark Tyler in on the first play of the series to fake it, and then they bring in Alan Bradford, who they see as a Lindale White type of runner, and he's wearing the same number. Stanley Avili, number 31, you see him there leading the play with a nice block, sealing things off. That's right there where it happened, and a great job finding the crease and getting downhill in a hurry by Alan Bradford out of San Bernardino, California, Colton High School, a really hard guy to tackle.
Drive for point is up and good, and the Trojans in command now, 21-3, and they put it on them in a hurry.
Well, that's what happens, and really it goes to the point that Mike Leaves was making just a few moments ago. The depth of this USC football team is mind-boggling. You can look at Florida, you can look at Alabama, you can look at a lot of great teams and great programs across this country, and you're not going to find anybody who has better depth than these USC Trojans and has more competition in practice than these USC Trojans, and they really do know how to get it cracking.
Well, coming up on the Geico halftime show, Darren Horton's going to have all the scores and highlights from all around the country. A bit of a scare today back in Columbus for number 6 Ohio State. The Middies played them tough. And we're going to be talking with the new commissioner of the Pac-10 Conference, Larry Scott. He'll be with us here in the booth. Lots to talk about. The half.
That's how we do it.
Well, you can see USC's first 5 possessions, 3 punts and a couple of fumbles. Last 3, all touchdowns. You know how much time it took them? 8 minutes.
Didn't take long because that San Jose State defense beginning to wilt a little bit. It's the hot weather. It's the fact that their offense is not helping them out with getting first downs at all. And USC, too big, too physical, too athletic. Very conservative, though.
End-over-end kick. This will be returnable for Rutley. And Rutley going to be cracked short of the 20-yard line. Great coverage by the Trojans. Good news is it was returnable. Bad news is he didn't get it back to the 20-yard line. And still, it's going to be Sekla who's going to be the quarterback. And I can't help but wonder if maybe Reed was not shaken up.
Well, unless they were just going quarter for quarter, Jordan LaSecla, there was no rhyme or reason as to how they were going to rotate their quarterbacks in the football game. At least what they told us last night. They were just going to put LaSecla in when they felt like he should go in. And unless Reed is hurt, they really feel like Lasecla's the guy in this second quarter. We're seeing him again.
Reed is on the sideline. He has his helmet on. Lasecla in trouble, and he's going to be wrapped up. Got away a couple of times. Not going to get away the third and fourth time from these USC Trojans.
Spartan quarterback coach told us one of the main things that they had to do, looking at the tape from last year, Terry Malley, who comes in and called the plays, wanted to get the ball out a little quicker, and that time Jordan Lasecla needed to get that ball out a little quicker because Dejon Harris was really bearing down on him. And again, a great sack by that USC defensive line, really now starting to get a push and starting to manhandle the San Jose State offense.
Third sack of the ball game for the Trojans. Second down and long, 16. For the Spartans, and to give to Perry, nothing doing. About 2, Michael Morgan makes sure it's no more than that. Trojan linebackers doing a great job so far. Malcolm Smith, Chris Gallipo, Michael Morgan. Well, here's Kyle Reed, and as we said, he looks like he's okay. I want to remind you again, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires helps you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com.
Congratulations.
And the Trojans have called a timeout. Let's get a report on Kyle Reed from Mike Leibs. Michael?
Yeah, Barry, all indications say that Reed is not injured. He's been standing next to Terry Mallett pretty much the entire second quarter. Even when Lasecla's out on the field, he's been engaged in every play that's going on, having conversations with Lasecla when he comes off the field. It does not look like he's injured whatsoever.
All right, thanks very much. It's exactly the way it appeared to us also, but Lasecla really been unable to move the football at all. 2 of 6 for 13 yards passing, and the running game has been shut down very effectively by the USC defense.
And you were just talking about those USC linebackers, the 3 starters, Michael Morgan, Chris Gallipo in the middle, and on the weak side, Malcolm Smith, number 6, who's really been all over the field, showing a lot of speed out there, the younger brother of Steve Smith, now with the New York Giants. These guys, a high IQ group.
Muldrow back in at the tailback spot. Quick toss to Muldrow. Muldrow saying to himself, I'm not at Sierra College anymore.
You saw the makeup speed of the USC defense there. Once again, Malcolm Smith, Kevin Thomas just flying in there and disrupting that play, even though they got Everson Griffin, the defensive end, to commit. Lasecla was able to deliver the ball, but just too much speed on that SC defense, too much makeup speed.
McKnight going to be the deep man once again. Had a good return the last time. Zavala hit it about the 5-yard line. Almost blocked. Might have got a piece of it, as a matter of fact. Takes a big hop, though. Great hop for San Jose State, who finally catch a break. And believe me, the Spartans need one all the way back at the 35-yard line. So the Trojans take over, leading 21-3. We talked with Pete Carroll yesterday, and he talked to us about his team's readiness and what it is that they focus on.
It's about taking care of business that we control. You know, this is a time when we have to understand it isn't about your opponent, it isn't about the setting or where you're going. It's about us, controlling the performance that we bring to the ball game, and in that match, just one part of it. You know, there's a lot of guys contributing here.
Well, and so far it's apparent that their focus has been on themselves, and they're getting the job done. A little bit slow out of the blocks, and since that time they've just steamrolled it on both sides of the ball. Give this time is to Stanley Havili. And Havili will pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards, but that gives you a pretty good indication there was nothing there, so that just tells you what the line charge of the Trojans is.
Well, the Trojans line is getting a great push right now, and Stanley Havili usually survives on about 3 or 4 touches per game. He's doing pretty well in this first half touching the football.
Pass, run, Barkley, come back wide open, Williams again. Out of bounds the 45-yard line. Newsom defending, another gain of 17.
Well, Devin Newsom really turned around in a great route run at that point by Damian Williams, who made the cut right about the time Matt Barkley released that ball. A great job by Matt Barkley, just seeing the play and being relaxed, delivering the ball. Very easy throw and catch for the Trojans. Barkley looked really polished there.
Well, you can see the work in progress of Barkley. He's now 7 of 9, 110 yards. Well job by Havili, hurdling a man and picking up about 8. Peyton Thompson
Tried to go low, and Havili just went right up over the top.
Fullbacks around the country are starting to get jealous now. Stanley Havili really getting his share of the football. There might be a few tailbacks on the sideline for USC right now, filled with a little jealousy, because Stanley Havili looking pretty spry. Look at that hurdle job. Stanley Havili's just fantastic with the ball. We saw him make a great block earlier in the second quarter to spring Alan Bradford on a touchdown run. Having a good all-around game so far.
2nd and 3, play fake, and a quick hitch this time. Osprey makes the catch. Look out. He's the 20. He's still on his feet. He's going to go. No, I think he stepped out. Stepped out at about the 10-yard line. He was gone, but that left foot caught the chalk.
Now that's a big body to get going in the right direction. David Osbury, a guy a lot of people think here at USC is the second coming of Mike Williams. Hasn't really delivered on the immense hype yet, but that'll get him started. Just one touchdown last year, almost had one that time, but about 235 pounds, 6'4", just couldn't get that body going upright, but a nice catch, went down and got it. Tanner Burns missing the tackle, and there you see Osbury right about at the 11-yard line, stepping out of bounds.
34 ticks remaining here in the first half. Second quarter absolutely dominated by the USC Trojans, and they're looking for more. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Trojans. It'll be their second timeout. 34 seconds left. Ball at the 10-yard line. Barkley 7 of 9.
He's shown us mostly short passes.
In fact, now, let me correct myself, 8 of 10 for 138 yards.
Still mostly short passes. His receivers are doing the work, running the ball down the field, but very impressed with Barkley thus far. Well, fresh out of high school.
Yeah, playing at Mater Dei just a year ago, and he doesn't seem to miss the beat. Here he is at Mater Dei. Look at the numbers. 8,487 yards, 78 touchdowns, and a very good program, the Mater Dei program, of course.
One of the great programs in the history of Southern California high school football. And Coach Bruce Rollinson was a tailback here at the University of Southern California. Matt Barkley, the Gatorade National Athlete of the Year as a junior. He had to go back his senior year with that plaque on his wall. And this kid has been dealing with a lot of pressure ever since he started taking snaps at Mater Dei.
Michael, you get around the high school scene down here in Southern California. You've seen Mater Dei more than once.
Yeah, you talk about a great program. Matt Leinart, Heisman Trophy winner. Colt Brennan invited to the Heisman presentation. Two very good quarterbacks. And Matt Barkley actually says he feels like he has to live up to the expectations of Mater Dei quarterbacks. The history before him, he says, the expectation set upon me is something he readily accepts. And he actually knows the history very well. He has boxes of highlight tapes in his room that go back 20 years. And he says, I can name all the great quarterbacks that came before me in chronological order and tell you what they did. By the way, guys, he was also the first freshman to start at Mater Dei. So this is nothing new to Matt Barkley.
And an impressive performance so far, and getting better as this game goes on.
A lot of poise so far, and Pete Carroll says there's not much of a difference getting Matt Barkley ready for his first game than there was with John David Booty, Mark Sanchez, and Matt Leinart.
Well, he's been around. Remember, he graduated early, so he's been on campus here. He was at spring ball. It's almost like he's a second-year player, even though he hasn't played. We got flags down here.
Taylor May says he acts like a senior.
It's a really thin line for a freshman quarterback, I would think, because you got to get the respect of your guys, and yet you kind of have to respect them.
Well, you got to figure out what it's like just to play college football.
Delay. Disconcerting signals on the defense. Half the 5-yard penalty, so first down.
But what that means is the San Jose State defense was yelling out a snap count as Matt Barkley was just doing it on sight with the USC shotgun situation there, as USC's been in the one back, mostly with Stanley Havili this entire drive. So San Jose State trying to be a little tricky there, yelling out snap counts, getting USC to jump, but the officials caught him.
Well, McKnight back in the ball game now. They've gone out of the gun almost exclusively here. Barkley throwing for Williams, can't hang on. Peyton Thompson defending. He's done a nice job in this ball game for San Jose State.
Well, he's only 5'11", 170 pounds, and a sophomore against one of the best receivers in college football, Damian Williams, and he does a good job competing the whole time for that ball. You see he competes right off the bat, but then he continues to slap at Damian Williams and slap at the ball, and that's why that was incomplete. Otherwise, that was going to be a touchdown. Nice job of fighting by Peyton Thompson.
And a very good ball thrown by Barkley, too.
Absolutely.
Threw over the right shoulder where only his guy was going to get it.
What an arm.
Well played. There's a pitch to McKnight. McKnight cuts inside. He's in. Touchdown, Trojans.
Now, Joe McKnight really victimized 2K Tuipulotu on that play. Joe McKnight in this football game really impressing me. He did have the fumble in the first quarter. That's a real disappointment for him, something he struggled with in the past, but really running much more physically than we've ever seen him run. He used to be a guy that would always have one too many moves. Now he's a guy that one move, and then he's very physical.
Try for point now to make it a 28-3 ball game. It's up, and it is good. And we'll take a timeout. 23 ticks remaining here in the first half, and the Trojans lead by 25.
This is a very regional sport.
Yeah. Well, in an individual professional sport like tennis, you're used to marketing stars. And this reminded me of my days over in the UK watching English Premier League football. The passion, the enthusiasm for college sports is just tremendous. And just seeing the success of postseason college football compared to the NFL is really the only comparison right now in terms of TV ratings and strength. I'd say college football is the second strongest sport in the country.
You know, before I let you get away too, I know women's sports is of great interest to you. You, of course, come from the Women's Tennis Association, and women's sports in the Pac-10 Conference, big, and I'm sure your hopes of making it even bigger than it is now.
Well, having spent the last 6 years of my life marketing women's tennis, one of the things I'm excited about is doing just that.
I'd be excited about Joe McKnight here too, as he's got one man to beat. He's going to take this all the way into the end zone. A touchdown run of 54 yards. That's what they've been looking for from Joe McKnight since he first stepped foot on the USC campus, and that was not an easy run, and he takes it in for the score.
Well, he's already got as many touchdowns as he had last year, Barry, in this football game. Joe McKnight really expressing himself, getting out on the perimeter. You saw the wiggle and the shake and the confidence, and he put it down on him. But the added element to Joe McKnight's game this year that is really surprising me is that physical nature, and you saw it at the end of that run.
We're just about a minute and a half into the second half, and already Joe McKnight, 13 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trojans just not getting off the gas. Larry Scott, thanks so much for being with us. I know we're going to see you a lot down the road.
Pleasure to be with you. Looking forward to the season.
Thanks a lot, Commissioner.
I know we'll see you many, many times. That's Larry Scott, the new commissioner of the Pac-10 Conference, just getting settled, and Trojans, meanwhile, settling in. There's an injured San Jose Spartan back at about the 43-yard line. He will be helped off the field. That is Alex Germany, and Germany, very important member of that San Jose State defense. Looks to be a leg injury of some sort coming off, though, under his own power. Does not appear to be too serious. Try for point is up and good, and just like that, a 35-3 USC lead. Let's look back for a moment, P, on that run by Joe McKnight.
Well, you see all the lead blocking, the USC defenders able to get out there. That's Charles Brown sealing off. There you have Stanley Avili sealing off, and that's pretty easy to run. Joe McKnight, you see his great feet, and there's the cutting ability right back upfield. Cutting right back upfield, and here's the physical part. Running through tackles at the end of the run. You know, Keith Burns, the San Jose State defensive coordinator, was telling us we're having such a hard time in practice simulating the speed and the power of this USC offensive line. We just don't have people that can do that kind of thing and give our defense a look on the practice field, and it's showing right now that they're just not ready for that.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Fourth 100-yard-plus game for Joe McKnight. And the Trojans, after trailing 3-0, have put 35 points on the board in the last 12 minutes. Unsacker is going to be the deep man, Unsacker, for the San Jose State Spartans, place in Germany.
And the best part of what USC has done and the ability to build this lead right now, a 32-point lead, is the fact that they haven't really had to show anything. They haven't had to do anything that's really outside of their personality or anything fancy that they might want to show against Ohio State next week. They've been very conservative and very successful within that structure.
They've run for 220 yards so far. It's going to be Rutley against the 20, against the 25. Tried to step outside, goes down at about the 30-yard line in the grasp of Garrett Green. To the sideline we go, and Michael Eaves. Michael.
Yeah, Barry, I spoke to Pete Carroll when he ran out of the locker room for the Trojans. He was excited as the players were. He said, I'm really happy with the way Matt Barkley has played. Conservative a little bit, but he said we don't want to do anything crazy here in the first half. He also said for the second half, we just got to continue to play aggressive and enjoy the heck, his quote, out of playing the second half. And what he just saw from Joe McKnight has got to give him a lot of pleasure, because I talked to Joe the other day, and he said if he had to grade himself his first 2 year, guys, he would give himself an F because he didn't live up to his expectations and the expectations of others. He said he's more mature this year, he's more focused, and Pete Carroll even said he's better physically, he's stronger, and he's faster. And as Petros was saying earlier, he's definitely running the ball a lot more physically than he has in his first 2 years here at USC.
I'm very impressed with the young man, Joe McKnight, because when he showed up, there were a lot of comparisons to Reggie Bush, and frankly, people just didn't really see that. And right now, he's showing an extra dimension that Reggie Bush never really had, despite winning the Heisman at USC, which is that physical inside running part of it.
Loss of 2 on the play, 10th play for a loss by the USC defense. There's a swing pass this time coming out of the backfield is Avila, and Avila is going to get it up close to a first down. Wes Horton makes the stop, but I believe this is going to be good enough for a first down for the San Jose State Spartans. Marking just short of the 40-yard line, but it will be a Spartans first down. Got to keep the defense off the field here. Kyle Reed, the quarterback, once again, and I think you're right, Pete. It's just a case of quarter by quarter. Trying to bounce it outside this time was Rutley, and he'll be dropped for a loss of about 4 by Josh Pinkard. Shop with the company that supports college football, Overstock.com. At home with the O. So the ball back to the 36-yard line now. Another tackle for a loss. That's 11 by the USC defense. The Spartans now looking at a 2nd and 14. Out of the gun this time. Late blitz comes and a quick swing pass over the head of Perry. Gallipo was coming on a late blitz.
Yeah, he really kind of green-dogged it, and that's the word in football of kind of just waiting and biding your time on a blitz and then taking off when the back takes off. Gallipo saw Patrick Perry take off on the swing pass, and he came flying in the backfield, and there you see a catchable ball for Patrick Perry, but when you throw a ball to a back, and Kyle Reed knows this, it can't be over his head. They wear those big shoulder pads. It's got to be 1 foot in front of the numbers. 3rd down and 14. Spartans 1 of 10 in 3rd down situations. Reed pump fakes. Now he throws, almost picked. It is knocked down finally. 2 shots at it Pinkard had. Knocked it up in the air once, knocked it down the second time. I feel like I was down the street at Staples Center watching it tip off between Yao Ming and Andrew Bynum or something like that. That was a basketball type of play. You see Josh Pinkard, a guy that can also play safety for USC. Great break on the ball in front of Juravich, and Juravich just started walking away, not knowing that the play was still live. Sort of awkward out there. Pinkard had a great shot at an interception twice. So Zavala will come back on to do the punting. And Damian Williams will be the deep man. Williams and McKnight sharing the return duties in this game. High twisting kick, good kick. It's going to drive Damian Williams all the way back to about the 14-yard line. It goes out of bounds at about the 14, maybe the 15-yard line. Good punt by Zavala. And it'll back the Trojans up. They lead it 35-3.
It's right here. It's easy. It's the money you could be saving with Geico.
Who's watching?
It's right here. It's easy. It's the money you could be saving with Geico.
What if the person of your dreams is out there waiting for you? And what if this weekend only, eHarmony lets you communicate with that person for free? Announcing the eHarmony Free Communication Weekend, now through Monday. Just 3 days left, so get started today at eHarmony.com.
You see the list for the Labor Day sale? Markdowns are massive.
Yeah? What's on it?
A ton of That's just the first page.
The only way to get the list is to get to Guitar Center's Labor Day weekend sale. Up to 80% off retail on page after page of guitars, drums, keyboards, and more. The Labor Day weekend list sale. Don't miss it.
Massive. Massive is my word? Maybe you should find your own.
Would you like to spend a little more time on the things worth spending a little more time on? Then you belong at Bass Pro Shops. This week, Under Armour long sleeve tech t-shirts are just $24.99, and this Bushnell rangefinder is only $119.94.
Pac-10 College Football Saturday is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Days Inn, the best value under the sun. And the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% off brand names every day at Overstock.com. Overstock.com. At home with the O. So the Trojans, who have scored 35 points in the last 8.5 minutes of possession. Wow. Start at the 14-yard line. Johnson is the tailback. This is Johnson, short side. Flag down. Johnson knocked out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. But once again, that's a gain of 5 yards, and that was first contact.
Yeah, the first time anybody touched him, he was that far downfield. That's the kind of push the USC offensive line is getting. Tanner Burns ends up making the tackle. Charles Brown having a conversation with the officials there.
Holding, offense, number 75. Half the distance to the goal line, first down.
A relatively penalty-free game, though, considering first game of the season. So that'll back the Trojans up. Here's a guy who's always on the sideline. Pretty good player in his day, wasn't he? Marcus Allen.
One of the greats, and he had to play fullback before he ever got to tote the rock at USC.
All right already, man. Get out of here.
So the ball back at the 7-yard line now. Play fake this time. Barkley out of his own end zone. He's got all day to throw. Comes underneath to Havili. Havili gets it across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. Pretty conservative play.
You can't help but be impressed with what Jeremy Bates has done offensively with the Trojans in this football game. Even though they really sputtered out of the gate, they did not panic at all. They stuck to their game plan. They continued to be conservative, and they relied on their overpowering, very experienced offensive line to just beat up on the smaller defensive line of the San Jose State Spartans. And they've done that. They've worn them down. They've been conservative with the quarterback, and they've run the football.
362 yards of offense now for the Trojans. Play fake this time. Barkley straight back. Throws again. On the under route. The catch is made to Havili. And Havili is going to be about 3 yards short. Tanner Burns makes the stop. You can see Barkley just itching to throw one downfield. And I'm sure they'll give him at least one opportunity.
Well, I'm not sure, Barry.
Now, interestingly enough, we talked about how many yards USC has in this game. They're 0 for 3 in third down conversions, which is what they have right now. Third down and 4. Again, Barkley going to go up. Again, he's got time. He throws downfield this time. Caught by McCoy. McCoy shakes the tackler midfield to the 40, to the 35. Fumbles the ball out of bounds. I thought he might have stepped out. And he did. He stepped out at the 36, so no fumble.
And that would have been the second fumble for Anthony McCoy in this football game. Anthony McCoy originally showed up at USC, 6'5", 250-pound senior now out of Fresno, California, but he originally showed up at USC as a blocking tight end. Barry, we had the game last year where he was at Washington State and really started to express himself catching the football, and look at him now. He's confident in football games. Swim moves out there. Watch this. Look at this. That's a physical shoulder, and then he's like a ballet dancer, strong in the upper body, graceful in the lower body. That's a big-time play for a tight end. And despite the fumble in the first quarter, Anthony McCoy with a big play there, but they're still going to get on him about dropping the ball at the end of the play. Got to hang on.
And a gain of 44. Now we got whistles before the snap. a timeout was called by the Trojans prior to the snap of the ball. So no penalty, but a timeout. Trojans lead it 35-3. They have just really put a hurt on the San Jose State Spartans after the Spartans had an early lead 3-0 and were playing pretty solidly.
Yeah, but the mark of good coaching, and you see Matt Barkley under the tutelage of all his offensive minds down on the sideline. Pete Carroll, Jeremy Bates, Johnny Morton, they're really telling this kid and guiding him through this game and making it easy for him, no question.
We're going to take a timeout with 9:21 remaining in the third quarter. The Trojans lead it 35-3. Don't go away. We're coming back. Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Michael Eaves, 35-3 ball game, USC over San Jose State. Remember yesterday, Pete Carroll was telling us he wants balance. He'd like offensive balance, both in the passing game and the running game. So far today, 194 yards passing, 220 yards rushing. Pretty good balance.
That's perfect balance, especially since USC has not really thrown the ball down the field and not really given us a chance to see that rocket arm of Matt Barkley's. We've seen his poise, we've seen his touch. We have yet to see the real strength of that arm, and believe me, it's there.
Barkley again, straight back, throws, open as McKnight, makes the catch down at about the 17-yard line. He may not be throwing deep, but he's certainly throwing accurately.
I'm very impressed with Matt Barkley at this point. Again, Pete Carroll's referred to this young man as an outlier, a ground breaker, a guy that has polish, a guy that's already a leader on this team. There he is in a beautiful pocket, just basically sitting in a rocking chair throwing this football. Great protection. You see after the nice catch, McCoy with a good block on the outside, and Barkley's able just to drop it in there to Joe McKnight.
See his numbers, 12 of 15, now over 200 yards, 216 yards. Ball just short of the 15-yard line. Play fake, Barkley rolls out. He's got a man up the middle, got two men. He had a choice. He came back instead to Bryce Butler, and Butler will be close to a first down. He also had McCoy wide open in the center of the field.
And he had Red Ellison wide open in the flat as well. These movement plays really starting to open up for the Trojans. Bryce Butler, a redshirt freshman, 6'3", 200 pounds out of Georgia. Norcross, Georgia, had a great final week of camp to Bryce Butler. Dad, Bobby, played cornerback 12 years in the NFL, so he knows what he's doing, and they're proud after he made that catch. Beautiful job.
All-American Florida State is Dad, Bobby. Bryce making the trip west. Stephon Johnson in at running back now. Single setback. Play fake. Barkley rolls, throws underneath. Ball caught. Touchdown. Just that simple. Red Ellison. And that drive was a thing of beauty. And that's Barkley's first, and I'm sure the first of many, touchdown pass at USC.
Yeah, and we got to call it, and it's going to be a lot. This is a kid that really knows what he's doing out there. Very, very impressive. There you see Red Ellison. He's going to go in motion this way and then just pop out in the flat. He's just going to come wide open as the defender makes the choice to go after Barkley. Great job, great decision, great execution.
Try for point is up and good, and just like that, a 42-3 USC lead, and they are taking no prisoners. Welcome to big-time football, Matt Barkley. 42-3 ball game. That last drive, another thing of beauty. USC averaging on touchdown drives 5 plays and 62 yards in 2 minutes. This kick driven about 5 yards deep. Brentley won't try it. And the Spartans will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Right now, we're going to go to our studio for a game break. We're talking about Ohio State. They had a tough time in Columbus. Here's Darren Horton.
You're right, Perry. In Columbus, in case you missed it, number 6 Buckeyes escape by the skin of their teeth. Navy trying to tie it on a 2-point PAT, but Brian Roll picks it off, saves the day. Not exactly how you want to tune up for the number 4 Trojans. 31-27 the final. How do you guys see next week shaping up, guys?
All right, thanks very much, Darren. You're watching us, of course, on Phillips HD from the Los Angeles Coliseum. 90,000 fans enjoying what they're watching. Home team, the USC Trojans in front 42-3 after trailing 3-0. Perry pops this one. Gets it to about the 24-yard line. Pickup of about 5, close to 5. TJ McDonald, talented freshman, another one of those names to tuck away in the back of your mind because you'll hear it a lot down the road.
USC's got a whole lot of those, and I suspect we're going to see a lot of these guys, all big-time recruits, all hometown heroes from where they come from. are going to be out on the field for USC trying to showcase themselves. And the same situation here in the second half for San Jose State to a certain degree. They're going to continue to compete, try to get things ready, and try to keep their guys healthy because they have a long gauntlet in the non-conference schedule.
Yeah, they got to go play Utah, and that's not going to be any kind of box of chocolates. Quick hitch this time. Great open field tackle that time by Josh Pinker.
And right now, San Jose State's one of the only teams to play 2 consecutive BCS Bowl winners, maybe in history, in their non-conference. They have it this week, and they got to face Utah too, and that's a tall order. But this is a tough San Jose State team, and if they can survive the non-conference, if they can keep healthy and continue to really compete, they can have a real chance in the WAC as a spoiler, as a very good team, and possibly a bowl game.
WAC is a tough and I think really underrated conference. Great play that time. On third down, Devon Kennard with a great stop. Now it's going to be fourth down. I can't imagine that the Spartans will go, and they will have to punt it away. So another 3 and out. And right now, they're really asking a lot of this San Jose defense.
Well, they're asking way too much of this San Jose State defense. They did have some success in the first quarter. USC was maybe giving them some of that by letting them have the underneath routes and being tough against the run. Patrick Perry we saw with some physical runs, but San Jose State just definitely not generating enough offense to keep their defense rested and to stay in the game right now.
And whistles blow, and we got a penalty flag back down at the 30-yard line near where Damian Williams was standing.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
So that'll back San Jose State up 5 yards. I still only count 10 Trojans out there even now. I'm not very good in math, but...
Me neither, Barry. I'm trying to count them too. Sometimes when it comes to the first game of the year, it doesn't matter if you're USC or if you're Slippery Rock, if they're still playing football. You just have mistakes. You've been in camp for 3 weeks. You've practiced in double days. You've stayed in a dorm together. You've eaten. You've slept together. You know, you're completely together with the team at all times, and you still make mistakes in the first game.
They still have 10 guys out there, even now. See what they can do with 10 guys. Trevon Patterson's going to be the deep man. He's going to call for a fair catch. So it all worked out okay. A lot of new bodies and certainly a forgivable offense.
That will be addressed in the film room. There's no question about it, Barry.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that to happen next week, of course. They get Ohio State back in Columbus. A flag was down. We're at the Los Angeles Coliseum. 90,000 fans on hand for this one. Opening game of the Pac-10 season. Opener for San Jose State. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Michael Eaves here to tell you about it. Battle at the quarterback position in the preseason for the USC Trojans, and there was some question as to who was going to get the job. After the spring, that young man right there, Aaron Corp, was told, it's your job. Then he got injured just a couple of weeks ago, and a little knee injury. He says, I'm fine, I'm back. He's back at practice, but in the meantime, Matt Barkley passed him, and doesn't look like he wants to give the job up, does he?
No, and he may never let it go, and that's unfortunate for Aaron Corp, even though USC has a very strong second right now in Aaron Corp. He cracked a fibula, said he was going to be back in a couple weeks from that, and he did come back, but he's not quite been the same look himself to the USC coaches just quite yet.
Alan Bradford in at tailback now. He had a long touchdown run earlier. Barkley going to throw it. Again, he's got all day. He throws a little too high that time. Intended for the tight end, McCoy. That's one of the few errant passes that Barkley has thrown.
A little high, and again, if you throw it that high to Damian Williams, he'll get it. If you throw it that high to Osbury, he'll get it too, and Bryce Butler as well, and down the line with all these talented USC wideouts. But when you throw it that high to a tight end or a running back, those guys have a little bit of a problem. You know why? Those shoulder pads are so big and they're strapped in there. It's hard to raise your arms above your head.
There's a pitch this time to Bradford. Bradford being very patient. He's done a good job to string it out by the San Jose State Spartans, and a pickup of only a yard.
Well, one of the other combinations, whenever you have a true freshman quarterback, he's taken snaps from not the normal center. Jeff Byers, a starter on the SC offensive line for a long time. Those two guys with pretty good communication. You know, I would not have been shocked in this football game with a couple snaps hitting the ground with a true freshman quarterback in the game. And Jeff Myers, captain of the team, obviously can play guard and center, but not the normal center for USC. They've been very clean, even in the shotgun.
Joe McKnight back in the ball game now. And moving a little early this time on the left side. That was Charles Brown.
False start, offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And the Spartans changing personnel on the fly as well.
Charles Brown's been very active in this game, and he's hard to miss down there because he's 6'5", 285, but this guy is a 5th-year senior, was one of the guys that Mark Sanchez just absolutely loved. His left tackle pass protection, came to USC as a tight end to Charles Brown, but very active all over the field in this football game.
This time they flop McCoy, and here's a quick pitch this time to McKnight. Look out, 20 to the 25, stutter step, gets around the man to the 30, going to be about 3 yards short of the 1st down, but that looked like it could go really big. Next week, season beginning with the Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Cowboys and the Bucks, or Brett Favre and the Vikings may take on the Cleveland Browns. It could be the Eagles and the Panthers, or the Lions and the Saints, and then the Redskins take on the Giants, or the 49ers Cardinals, or Rams Seahawks. Coverage beginning next Sunday with America's #1 pregame show at noon. Thought I could beat the band that time. They still beat me.
It's tough to beat the band.
I'm telling you. So the Trojans will punt it away. And this one will be allowed to hit and go dead right inside the 30-yard line at about the 28. New career high in rushing for Joe McKnight today, 145 yards. Well, last year, of course, USC went into Corvallis, Oregon in a Thursday night game and went in with a great deal of confidence. But guess what? A guy by the name of Jacquizz Rodgers made him think otherwise. The Rodgers brothers, James and Jacquizz, both back for Oregon State. Oregon State coming up with what was arguably the biggest upset of the 2008 season. They beat the USC Trojans 27-21.
And the amazing thing about that game, Barry, was that was one of the only times I've ever seen a Pete Carroll football team pushed off the ball. I mean, they really got it physically taken to them by Oregon State in the first half of that game.
The only teams, it seems, that have a really legitimate opportunity to beat the USC Trojans, teams that can run the football. And that night, of course, Jacquizz Rodgers ran it brilliantly.
Oh, he was brilliant. And he was brilliant all last season. Jacquizz Rodgers is one of the most exciting players in college football. And in the Pac-10, we have a lot of those guys. There's no question that Javid Best is one of the great running backs right now, maybe in the history of California Berkeley. I mean, he's fantastic. You see those losses that USC has had the last 3 years, all major upsets, all games that the Trojans were supposed to win handily, but these Pac-10 teams, they know Pete Carroll, they get up for the game, they know each other, they're not intimidated, and they can come up with victories.
Absolutely. Swing out of the backfield this time to Avila, and he's not going to get much. Picked up about 2 yards. He'll get it just across the 30-yard line. Think about the Trojans this year, too, is the simple fact that they have their toughest games on the road. This is not going to be a walk in the park for USC.
Well, they have to go to Ohio State, and the true freshman quarterback looks great today, and Ohio State faltered a little bit, just survived against Navy, but you have to think that Ohio State's going to be pretty excited, and the shoe's going to be up for that giant football game out there, and Ohio State has revenge on their minds. They have to go
about 2 yards. They'll get it just across the 30-yard line. Think about the Trojans this year, too, is the simple fact that they have their toughest games on the road. This is not going to be a walk in the park for USC.
Well, they have to go to Ohio State, and the true freshman quarterback looks great today, and Ohio State faltered a little bit, just survived against Navy, but you have to think that Ohio State's going to be pretty excited, and the shoe's going to be up for that giant football game out there, and Ohio State has revenge on their minds. They have to go to Cal. Cal's one of the best teams in the Pac-10. I expect Oregon to be much improved next week against Purdue.
And we will see that game. Here's a swing pass to Reese out of the backfield. Reese at the 30, but well short of the 1st down, and the Spartans are going to have to give it up. Let's take a look at the coaches poll presented by Days Inn. Ohio State, of course, ranked 6. USC ranked 4. Florida, Texas, Oklahoma 1, 2, 3. And then Alabama with a tough game tonight, actually. They play Virginia Tech, not an easy game. Number 5 against number 7. Penn State at number 8. LSU, they're out here on the left coast to do battle with the Washington Huskies. Steve Sarkisian taking on a pretty good team in his first head coaching gig.
I like to see that. I like to see the SEC in the first game of the year playing against a Pac-10 team. I like to see the SEC in the Big 12. You know, I like to see these early matchups. They're fun.
Kick was almost blocked. And it's going to go dead at about the 26-yard line. Coming pretty hard at it that time.
Here's the punt from Zavala, and you see it, it's like a rugby kick, and it's not roughing the kicker on the rugby kick. That's the rule this year. If he takes it outside that tackle box, if you run into him on the run, the new rule this year in college football is you hit that guy, it's not running into the kicker, it's not roughing the kicker because he took the ball and ran with it a little bit. That's the new rule on the rugby kick. Now, you can still get a personal foul if you hit him too hard.
C.J. Gable in the ball game now at tailback, and they don't drop off much with C.J. either. He's got fresh legs, and he gets 10 on his first carry.
Well, count them, Barry. How many tailbacks have we seen for USC today? We've seen Joe McKnight, great today. Stephon Johnson, pretty good. Mark Tyler, very briefly. Alan Bradford with a really long, good touchdown run. And now C.J. Gable, he's the fifth guy, and he may even be the best guy. Each one of these guys, you can have an argument to say any of these USC tailbacks could be a 1,500-yard rusher on any other Division I team and a starter in the country. But it just happens they're all here at USC, all sharing the same offense and the same football.
First out at the 37-yard line. Here's Gable again, right side. Good blocking up front. Gable, head down, picks up 10 more. They're getting it in chunks now. Let's go to our Pac-10 College Football Saturday studio for Phillips HD Game Break.
In Iowa City, it came down to the final seconds. Number 21, Iowa, needed to block not one, but two potential game-winning field goals. This one seals the deal. Jeremiah Hunter with the block. He's the hero. Hawkeyes have won 9 straight season openers, 17-16 the final. Harry?
All right, thanks very much, Aaron. They had a struggle to do that, though. They were behind Northern Iowa most of that game. Iowa, of course, ranked number 22. Bigger things expected of the Hawkeyes this year.
Sometimes it takes a while to get going. Most teams don't get their identity till about 3 games into the season.
I think SC has hits.
So far.
Straight ahead this time, the fullback, Shoemate. DJ Shoemate, a sophomore out of Miraloma Servite High School.
We talk about football teams and getting an identity, and right now what USC's identity is, Barry, is a conservative football team, a running football team with a very good quarterback that we haven't really seen just open it up and throw it down the field. You know, Oregon was a team I thought had their identity down pat going into Boise the other night, and certainly that just wasn't the case. It's so hard to tell early in the season what teams are going to be like.
We'll get an idea next week, I think. And this time in trouble, and getting out of trouble is Barkley. Now he's going to run midfield and turn nothing into a little something. Did a nice job. It was Iheanacho who was in his grill.
Yeah, Carl Iheanacho, and he doesn't let guys go very often when he gets his hands on them in the backfield. But there you see the size and strength of Matt Barkley, about 6'2", 230 pounds for a true freshman. That's a big body, and he's got a lot of strength in that body, able to get away. And then I'm just so impressed with this kid's ability to slide and throw the ball away and not make mistakes, not put himself in a position to make mistakes. And certainly USC and their play calling, they've put him in a great position to succeed in this football game.
Aaron Corp is in the game as a wide receiver now. Check that, it is Williams back in. He was on the field for a moment. And here's Barkley throwing complete, but short of the first down to Trevon Patterson, I beg your pardon. And the Trojans will have to punt.
Well, it seems like they were having a lot of success just running the football. They wanted to drop back and get Matt Barkley a few throws. Be interesting to see what they do with Matt Barkley down the stretch in this football game. If we will see Aaron Corp, I suspect we will see Aaron Corp playing this football game, but they might want to get Matt Barkley a few more reps. He's got to go in and start in the horseshoe next week.
A high twisting kick and a fair catch called for and made. Jurovich was the guy who made the fair catch, and the Spartans will have it at about the 12-yard line. Well, the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Overstock.com, at home with the O. Let's make it the 17-yard line where the Spartans will start. And it'll be Kyle Reed once again at quarterback. Reed played the first quarter, did a pretty good job, had his team in the lead. And then the wheels fell off about the middle of the second quarter. Trojans come with a blitz right up the middle. It's picked up this time, and now in big trouble, and Reed throws it away. And that will be grounding. He was not outside the tackle box. Absolutely the right call.
There was just too many guys to block in that situation. Everybody was coming, and Patrick Perry did a good job cutting down the middle linebacker, Chris Gallipo.
On the offense, number 7. That's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
So that's going to back San Jose State up to about the 4-yard line, and that was a jailbreak.
Well, you look at this pressure, and there's Gallipo, and there's the cut by Patrick Perry. But Derek Simmons was unblocked and came in and put a nice hit on Kyle Reed, who got rid of the ball but called for grounding. I can't quite blame him on that one. That's pretty tough. That's a pretty tough look for Kyle Reed.
That was survival.
We haven't seen Kyle Reed run very much, and he does have that skill set. He can run and get out. Not seen a lot of scrambling from him this afternoon.
So now Reed out of his own end zone, and he's going to keep it himself and take it across the 10 to the 12-yard line. So there he's running by design, and Devon Kennard makes the tackle well short of the first down, about 17 yards short of the first down. And with that, that will be the last play of the third quarter, another dominant quarter for the USC Trojans. So at the end of 3 quarters, it's the Trojans 42 and the San Jose State Spartans 3. 15 minutes of football left here at the LA Coliseum. What a debut for the young freshman quarterback. We're coming back right after this.
Mark, we have teams on both coasts that are interested, but Milos only wants to play for Dallas. Milos really...
Harmony.com total yards first quarter. San Jose State 67 and USC just 77. They were in it. In fact, they led 3-0. Since then, 63 yards total for San Jose State, 410 yards for the USC Trojans.
And that's just physical dominance right there. USC, again, very vanilla offensively, very conservative, stuck with that game plan and overpowered the Spartans.
Kyle Reed at quarterback looking at a 3rd down and 16. And he floats it out here for Jurovich, who can hang on. Coverage closing, and they're going to get a flag. So this will give the Spartans a 1st down. Very aggressive coverage by USC, a little bit too aggressive, though. Taylor Mays might have run into Jurovich a little bit too late.
Taylor Mays unhappy with that, but you just see the physicality of USC's All-American safety, Taylor Mays. Such a big guy, 6'3".
On the defense, number 27. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
Well, they called it on Marshall Jones. Both Jones and Mays were there converging on Jurovich.
Pass interference or not, I wouldn't want to get hit by Taylor Mays. There you see Jones in there a little bit early, and there you see Mays cleaning it up. And wow, that's a tough save. That's a big football player. That's one of, he cuts one of the most impressive silhouettes in all of college football, this Taylor Mays.
And a good guy, too. Very bright guy.
A lot of fun, yeah.
1st down at the 25-yard line. Straight ahead, Perry. Again, nothing doing. Let's go to the sideline. Michael Eaves. Michael, I know you've had a relationship with Taylor Mays. Quite an impressive guy in every respect, isn't he?
He is. He's just a well-rounded young man. And, you know, we were talking at the beginning of our broadcast that he turned down millions of dollars from the NFL waiting on him so he could come back and sort of cement his legacy here at USC. He said even when he came to school, he always thought he would be a 3-and-out guy. After 3 years here, go on to the NFL. But last year, he just felt like his career wasn't complete. It wasn't about coming back and enjoying the college experience. It was about being one of the best of all times. He wants to be considered in the breath of Ronnie Lott and Troy Polamalu, and he figures he has to come back and win a national championship and put his stamp on his career at USC. And a good start today. Not the flashiest of guys in terms of statistics. Interceptions not his strong point. He's a physical guy that can affect both the run and the pass game, and he's going to be a star at the next level. There's no question about that.
No question about it. He's going to be around for a long, long time.
Well, he's just so big, and he's also very fast, and he's good with the ball, and he's very physical. Of course, his dad, Stafford, played for Coach Carroll with the Minnesota Vikings when Pete Carroll was an NFL coach. And just a lot of pass breakups, a lot of anger in that secondary, and a lot of big hits coming from Taylor Mays.
3rd down now and long once again, and I almost feel redundant saying that. Boy, what a read that time by T.J. Bryant. Right now, we're going to go back to our Pac-10 College Football Saturday studio, get another game break from this Phillips HD game break. Darren.
All right, Barry, in the big house, Michigan looking for their first opening day win since 2006. One of two freshman quarterbacks, Denard Robinson, dancing through Western Michigan's defense. 43 yards for the touchdown. Right now, it's 31-0 in the fourth. Barry?
All right, Darren, nice start that time for today for the Michigan Wolverines. And Patterson makes a fair catch at about the 29-yard line, maybe the 30-yard line. Trojans will have it there, and the day's work is done for the freshman Matt Barkley. 15 of 19, 233 yards. We'll be back.
Is it time to do a little team building with the team that matters most? Then you belong at Bass Pro Shops. This week, Redhead striped polos are only $9.94 and save 40% on Redhead caliber waterproof hikers. Your adventure starts here.
You can't get Kentucky Grilled Chicken on a value menu.
Yeah, you can. Now you can get the great taste of new Kentucky Grilled Chicken for just $1.99. The new Kentucky Grilled Chicken Value Box, only on the KFC Ultimate Value menu. Unthink, it takes the under $2 side of KFC.
Need a new truck? Yes. During Toyota's National Clearance Event, get amazing deals on a great selection of new Toyotas. Now choose $2,000 cash back or low 1.9 APR on a new 2010 Tundra. That's right, $2,000 cash back or 1.9 financing. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
All season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the history and traditions of the Pac-10 Conference. Today, we highlight USC and the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. With a capacity of 92,000, this grand stadium is one of the most intimidating.
14:01 remaining in this ball game. We're going to be with you a whole bunch next week here on FSN. A triple dip next Saturday. Number 21 Iowa going to battle cross-state rival Iowa State. Then it'll be Houston and Big 12 powerhouse number 11 Oklahoma State. They trail Georgia right now, but still very much in the game. In the nightcap, it'll be Purdue against number 14 Oregon. Big Pac-10, Big 10 matchup. The action kicking off at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. You and I, Petros and Michael Eaves, will be up in Eugene, Oregon. Talk about licking their wounds.
They have a lot of adversity to overcome, but here's a guy who really has overcome the adversity of being inexperienced and come in and just had a great debut as a true freshman quarterback, starting the first game ever as a true freshman for USC. And now it's Aaron Corp in the game, the incumbent, the sophomore.
Mark Taylor also in the ball game, and this is Taylor. And every time we've seen Taylor, he's been very impressive. That's Tyler, I beg your pardon, not Mark Taylor, but Mark Tyler.
He's a very physical back, yeah.
At Overstock.com, our award-winning customer service will make you feel at home with the O. Wendell Tyler, of course, father of Mark Tyler, and longtime NFL player, played crosstown at UCLA.
There was always a question as to whether or not Mark Tyler was going to play defense, but he's become very comfortable at the tailback position at USC.
This time, Corp rolls out. Now he throws underneath, threw a little behind his intended receiver, who was Blake Ailes. But he makes the catch. Pompey Festejo on the tackle.
And Aaron Corp is a better runner than that. He really is. He's the best running quarterback that USC has had in a long time. Much better feet than Carson Palmer, Mark Sanchez, John David Booty, and the freshman starter, Matt Barkley. Aaron Corp kind of sails through the air like a clipper ship in a little bit of a way. A nice gliding runner, but he's really been hampered by that cracked fibula. Let's see what he can do here and what kind of confidence he can gain as the backup.
3rd down and 4. Let's see, whistles blow, and did the clock tick down?
Dead ball, delay, offense. Number 15, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Not the start that Aaron Corp would have liked. Let's see if Pete Carroll lets him throw the ball again. Now it's 3rd and 9. Here's a pitch to Tyler. Tyler cuts it back, still on his feet. First down, much more. Trying to get to the outside, needs a block and gets it midfield. 45 to the 40-yard line. He can go. Now he takes it the other way. Nobody between him and the goal line. One man to beat at the 5, and he kind of ran out of gas. Tyler is wrapped up at the 5-yard line. That tank showed E. 64 yards on the carry.
Yeah, that run was clean, but the gas tank was on E. Duke Iheanacho is the guy that finally caught up with Mark Tyler and stopped him. Watch Jeremy Bates, watch Tyler cut back and forth across the field. Mary, I cannot tell you how tired Mark Tyler must be after this run. He's supposed to be a big physical pounding back. He looks like Reggie Bush out there against Fresno State a few years ago on that sideline, but the stop move didn't work as well. What a great run.
And here he is again trying to finish it off. He cuts inside one man, and he does power in. He'll be close. Did he get there? I don't believe he did.
I don't know if he's got one more in him, Barry. I don't know if he can stay in there. I mean, to run the football that far just straight is very difficult because it's not like you're just running 60 or 70 yards down the field. Of course, he's going longer with all the cuts across the field, but all your nerves, all your excitement, everything's happening, all your adrenaline is just tiring you out, and that helmet's bobbling around on your head. It's absolute chaos.
Let's see if they're giving it a shot here. Now a flag. Thrown by the back judge.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 12 men in the huddle. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Well, they called it on the offense, but they pointed to the defense. And I think it is, we're going to get a clarification now. I think it's against San Jose State. Now we got it right. So that's going to basically put the nose of the football on the goal line. And it also gives Mark Tyler another minute or so of rest.
Much needed.
Yeah. Shoemate the fullback, Tyler the tailback. They give it to Tyler again, and he's in. Touchdown. Well, they owed him that.
Well, Tyler carried the mail all the way down the field, and he cut back and forth and made it very exciting. But of course, as always, it's the big guys up front that have been making it happen for USC this entire game, just physically overpowering and handling the defensive front of the San Jose State Spartans. The Spartans seem to be out of gas at this point of the game, and whatever running back the Trojans have in there is having great success.
Try for point is up, and that is good, and it is a 49-3 ball game with 10 minutes and 56 seconds remaining to be played. 10 minutes and 56 seconds, and I'm sure Dick Tomey and the Spartans can't wait to have go by.
Buckle up, everybody, because we're taking a ride that can strain your relationships and hurt your pride. It's the credit roller coaster, and as you can see, it kind of bites. So sing the lyrics with me. When your deck goes up, your score goes down. When you pay a little off, it goes the other way round. It's just the same for everybody, every boy and girl. The credit roller coaster makes you want to hurl. So throw your hands in the air and wave them around like a wannabe frat boy trying to get down. And bring them right back to where your laptop's at. Log on to freecreditreport.com. Free credit score and report with enrollment and triple advantage.
Ask people what the best hot dog is, and they'll tell you it wasn't the one they had at their home. It was the one they had visiting this home. Being entertained at this home. Dining at this home. And let's not forget, celebrating at this home. Farmer John hot dogs. If they're good enough to serve in these homes, they're good enough to serve in yours.
Well, the Trojans now lead it by 46, 49-3 ball game, just under 11 minutes remaining to be played. Let's take a look at our best buy, best connection, and it came from the freshman, Matt Barkley, to Williams. Williams turning this into a 44-yard game. Williams, of course, the transfer from Arkansas. Damian Williams, most consistent receiver on this USC team.
Damian Williams reminds me a little bit of Johnny Morton, if you remember what he used to do at USC. Not the fastest receiver out on the field, although his speed has improved, and so did Morton throughout his career at USC, but just such precise routes and great hands.
That goes a long way at the next level, running precise routes. From his own end zone, that's Hunsucker. And what a stop. And the Trojans not getting off the gas, and I'm sure that really pleases Pete Carroll and the coaching staff. It was Jarvis Jones who just undressed him.
And this is what Pete Carroll told Michael Eaves at halftime. We're going to enjoy the heck out of competing and playing football in the second half, and that's exactly what Jones is doing in this situation. Kids, that's how you make a football tackle.
That's a decleater.
You wrap him up, you hit him right on the shoulder. He used his face mask, he used his legs, he used his arms, he used his whole body to make it happen.
That's one of those plays that you wait for in the film session. This is Chris Reese. And different ball carrier, same result. Loss of about a yard. Sekla is back in the quarterback now for the San Jose State Spartans. The Sekla struggled in the first half.
I'm not blaming Sekla, but it did really seem like the San Jose State offense ran out of gas a little bit in the second quarter when he came in. Now, whether that's because the Trojan defense just really stepped it up and figured things out, I'm not sure.
Give this time and a loss again. Muldrow on the tackle.
And it's a lot like Dick Tomey told us, Barry. He's got to have two quarterbacks. He's got to have two quarterbacks as long as the team respects both quarterbacks. He's going to play both quarterbacks, and Sekla and Kyle Reed, because you never know, one of them might get hurt, and he needs these guys to be there. Tomey has played two quarterbacks in the past. You remember his best year at the University of Arizona, 12-1 team. They played Keith Smith at a Newberry Park, same high school as Jordan Sekla in Southern California, and Ortiz Jenkins, one of the greats in the history of Arizona University.
Sure was. What a huge game up at Oregon State. Last play of the game. San Jose 1 of 14 in third down conversions. Sekla rolls, throws, and there's 2 of 15. Ahead to the 30-yard line, and now a flag. And he might have stepped out of bounds. Khalil Payton was on the receiving end, but he had stepped out of bounds prior to coming back on the field making the catch, and so this one's going to come back.
Whenever you see hatless officials showing us their beautiful foreheads, you know that somebody stepped out of bounds and came back out onto the field, and that is not acceptable in the NCAA.
Legal touching, offense, number 83. Receiver went out of bounds voluntarily, came back in, and was the first player to touch the ball. That is a loss of down at the previous spot, 4th down.
And there he is.
And that's not attention to detail. That is not a disciplined route. You got to be more disciplined in your routes, and you can't hop around. When you decide to stop and show a quarterback your numbers inside a zone, you have to stay there, especially if you're near the sideline. You can't be backing into the routes, and I'm sure they'll talk to Khalil Payton all about that in the film session. Would have been a nice play for San Jose State's offense to be able to hold on to the ball. Unfortunately now for them, they have to punt.
Zavala's been one of the busiest guys on the field. Gets this one pretty good, high twisting, fairly short kick, and it's Patterson a fair catch at the 46-yard line. So 9 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the Trojans get good field position again. There's a guy who had a career day. 145 yards rushing for Joe McKnight.
He was really able to get out and express himself, and I expected to see Joe McKnight at a River Ridge, Louisiana, John Curtis High School, do what he did on the perimeter, but I was also very impressed with Barry inside the tackle box, being an all-around starting tailback, pass protection, catching the ball, involving himself in all aspects of the game, and a much more physical runner in this football game than I've seen him in the past. Just a great starting performance by Joe McKnight, and he says he feels healthy. This is the best he's felt in the history of his career. Michael Eaves was telling us that earlier in the game.
C.J. Gable now the running back, play fake, Corp throws underneath, catch made by Shoemate. Shoemate will have a first down short of the 40-yard line. And the numbers for Joe McKnight, a career high, as we mentioned, 145 rushing yards, a couple of touchdowns.
He only had 3 touchdowns last year, and to a certain degree, that was a bit of a disappointment. Often he wasn't put in on the goal line in a position to score, but already off to a fantastic start in 2009. It just looks like a more complete football player than he ever has before.
All the running backs have been impressive. Here is Gable, tries the right side, stood straight up, spins out of a tackle, and is dropped by the pursuit. And he might get a yard on the play. Let's take a look at our DirecTV game summary. Barkley, the freshman, in his first game as a collegian, 15 of 18, 233 yards. Touchdown. USC offense, they rushed for 325 yards, an average of 8 yards per carry. And remember, San Jose State led in the second quarter, 3-0. And there's a look at a very happy guy, and he should be. Matt Barkley, I mean, you couldn't have asked for more from him today. Stakes get a little higher next week. Nice play here. This is Ailes on the receiving end. Ailes stays on his feet, hurdles a man, gets down inside the 15. And that's what fresh legs do for you. Natakauda makes the stop. Manu.
Well, I'll tell you what, the personnel, for the most part, on the USC offense has changed, but the philosophy is the same. There you see Ailes going over his own player and pretty much everybody else on that San Jose State defense. Jumping over the other tight end, Red Ellison. He's another very, very good pass-catching tight end, and he's not a starter at USC, but he probably could be anywhere else in the country.
This is Gable again, left side. Gable gets into the secondary, gets inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5.
USC is still absolutely sticking to the game plan that they started with in the first quarter that sputtered and saw San Jose State with a 3-0 lead for a long time in the first half. USC just continuing to move the quarterback, get the ball to the tight ends and fullbacks, and then run zone with these many different tailbacks and get a great push with the offensive line. Very impressed with the conservative nature of USC's offense and their ability to execute within that.
Well, they're running only about 4 plays right now. And here's Gable. Little gap to the 10-yard line. First down. Natakauda again on the tackle. So the ball at the 10-yard line. 605 yards for the USC Trojans now. And you have an idea it could have been much more than that.
Well, Ohio State's not going to have a lot to look at on film.
Exactly.
They've kept it very close to the vest.
Inside handoff this time to Gable, and he'll get it down about the 6-yard line. Well, for Matt Barkley, we said he was born to do this. This was him at about 10 o'clock, 10:30 this morning. The USC Trojans come down the steps on the Palisade side of the stadium.
Yeah, they walk in the peristyle end. They call it the Trojan Walk. It's something Pete Carroll started in 2001. They did it for the first time in 2001 against San Jose State. Pete Carroll opened up his Trojan career, and Matt Barkley was looking nervous walking into the stadium, but there's a big weight lifted off him now. Look at him on the sideline just enjoying it.
Yeah, didn't play nervous, did he? Good stop in the backfield that time by Pompey Festejo. Stopping C.J. Gable for a loss on the play.
I just can't imagine being Matt Barkley at the gun in this game after the day he's had, all the attention, all the national media attention on the young man as to how he was going to perform, and if Aaron Corp was too hurt to be the starter or Matt Barkley earned the starting quarterback position. There's just a lot of talk around this young man going into this first game, and man, did he perform, and man, did his team help him put him in a great position to perform.
No question. Here's Corp rolling out in trouble now. He comes back the other way. He talked about his ability to run. Gets a great block, crushing block, but goes out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. It's going to be 4th down. Let's watch the block on this play, and it was by a 3rd-string lineman, Michael Reardon.
He left his feet for that one, too. And you saw the ability to run by Aaron Corp. Aaron Corp does have great feet and a lot of ability to make plays with his legs, and that's been his MO since his high school days at Orange Lutheran High School. USC is going for it on 4th down. That's nothing new for a Pete Carroll team.
No, and it would just be rubbing it in, I think. Look at this from on high from the Goodyear blimp. Corp going to throws a slant. Caught this time, going to be a touchdown into the end zone. DJ Shoemate. San Jose State is just simply worn out.
So that's a nice windfall for Aaron Corp to be able to come in after that cracked leg, come back and throw a touchdown pass to his fullback, DJ Shoemate, who's a very serviceable player at the fullback position for USC behind Stanley Havili. Perfectly thrown ball, and all he has to do is break one tackle and take it to the house.
So Joe Houston tries the extra point. He has the same kind of success as his predecessor, and it's a 56-3 ball game with 4:13 remaining. And that by no means is rubbing it in. Pete Carroll could have gone for a field goal. He didn't. Ran a conservative pass play underneath. Still scored the touchdown. Trojans on a roll.
This is my small business specialist.
My partner fell in love, got married during the summer.
Yeah.
Ronnie Yell and Hunsucker are the deep men. That'll make you want to yell. Right now, let's go to our Pac-10 College Football Saturday studio for Phillips HD Game Break. Darren.
Barry and Stillwater, one of the best games of the day. Zach Robinson hooks up with Dez Bryant, 12-yard touchdown, one of 2 TDs all day for Bryant. The Cowboys extend their lead to 24-10. Barry, let's go back to you.
All right, thanks, Darren. That's a huge win if they get it, and a huge game. Oklahoma State over Georgia.
2 of the best receivers. We have Damian Williams in this game, one of the great receivers in the country, but 2 of the best in the country are playing in that game. Dez Bryant and, of course, A.J. Green for Georgia.
Spartans with a new quarterback. He is Miles Eden. He was the starter last year, and now relegated to being the third-team quarterback. And handoff on 1st down to Muldrow, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. That's going to be yet another tackle for loss, the 17th tackle for loss. That's impressive for the USC Trojans.
Well, Patrick Perry for San Jose State seemed to really be the only back who was able to powerfully take it into the line of scrimmage and get positive yardage and take some chips out of that USC front 7. The rest of the backs have had a real tough time. They've been stopping their feet at the line of scrimmage and trying to run outside, and that just doesn't work against a team this athletic.
Eden going to put it up this time. Throws, almost picked. And up in the USC coach's box, folks are pretty relaxed right now, knowing that this one is wrapped up and has been for quite a while.
Well, there's Lenny Vandermain. He's a modern-day guy just like Matt Barkley, an old teammate of mine. There's another old teammate of mine, Rocky Cito, coordinated his first state game on defense for USC. He's been a secondary coach at GA. He was coaching for Paul Hackett. And then Pete Carroll came and just took him right under his wing, and now the defensive coordinator at USC. Those guys are happy in the booth.
That's a great story. A little quick pass this time to Marquise Avery, and Avery makes the catch, but still going to be about 12 yards short of the 1st down.
Marquise Avery looking at that.
Situation now for San Jose State is relatively positive. They haven't had a great performance in this game offensively. They just couldn't muster enough 1st downs or enough physicality to take anything out of this Trojan defense, even though they're a brand new front 7. But San Jose State has survived the game relatively healthy. Kyle Reed is okay, Jordan Lasekla is okay, Jurovich, who's a great receiver, is okay, and Patrick Perry performed pretty well.
And this punt is going to go out of bounds somewhere in the area of the 35-yard line. Oh, you were talking about Rocky Sato in his first year as the defensive coordinator. He is quite a story, and here's what Pete Carroll had to say about it.
Yeah, Rocky Seto has been an extraordinary story for us. You know, when you go all the way back and you pile it all together and you see that he walked on here after playing junior college football and eventually earned a scholarship and stepped all the way through the whole administrative part of getting to the point where he could eventually tap me on the shoulder at a volleyball game when I first got the job. Hey, coach, I'd like to be a GA, you know, and so we visited from then, and he's turned all of this into just becoming a great football coach.
Really is a great story. I mean, this is a guy, I know you know him very well.
Yeah, and there's Rocky. You see him right there out of Arcadia High School.
And here this time is a give to Ahmad Mokhtar. And Mustaine is the quarterback, Mitch Mustaine. So seeing our third quarterback now, our seventh running back. And this is Mokhtar again, and Mokhtar cutting it back across the 35, about the 37-yard line. It's going to be third down about 5. Rhino Gonzalez. Now, if your name's Rhino, you got to play football.
Oh, you have to. There's no question.
Should be a
about it.
fullback, not a linebacker, but.
Well, you know, one and the same. And
yeah.
The contact's pretty much the same between all those guys. And there you see Mitch Mustaine, another transfer from Arkansas. Not as much success as his ex-teammate, well, still teammate, but ex-teammate at Arkansas, now teammate at USC, Damian Williams. A lot of people expected Mitch Mustaine to take the starting job from Mark Sanchez when he showed up at USC, but it just hasn't worked out for him in that way. Nice to see him out there right now.
Here's Mark Tyler again. Tyler tries to cut this one upfield, can't do it. And the Trojans will punt it away with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining to be played. Well, the Spartans came with an idea, and they actually executed it pretty well for a little more than a quarter. But since the early part of the second quarter, it has been all USC, and that's really making an understatement. Inside a minute now, 45 seconds remaining to be played in the football game. Jurovich is going to be the deep man. And a short twisting kick. Jurovich runs up, takes it to the 32-yard line. Is wrapped immediately by TJ McDonald, the freshman, and the son of Tim McDonald, former All-American at USC and longtime NFL defensive back.
Michael was talking about all the great DBs. You can look at a lot of positions at USC and talk about the greats. Offensive line, quarterback, the running back position, no doubt, but the safety position is a really special one at USC because of McDonald, because of Ronnie Lott, and then recently Troy Polamalu, maybe one of the great safeties to ever play in the history of football. When it's all said and done, Troy Polamalu, just an absolute gem of a football player. And Taylor Mays now, watching him and his physical abilities are very impressive.
So there are 28 ticks remaining. Lasekla is back at quarterback. Four-man rush and a swing pass and no place to go. And another loss on first down. Muldrow, who, as we mentioned, transferred from Sierra College. And in 2 years at Sierra College, he had 3,260 yards and 44 touchdowns. But he's got to feel like he's in Oz now.
Yeah, it's a little different in this game, and there just has not been a lot of daylight for this San Jose State offense. But they'll find it this year. They have a lot of good players, and they're going to be okay. It's a tough test for them early in the season, and USC, without having to show too much to Ohio State next week, dominated this football game with their athletic and physical ability.
And I think that's a key, too, Petros, in that they didn't have to show a lot. They stayed pretty vanilla. Their execution was terrific, and it really did give the young freshman quarterback, it gave him some legs now. And, you know, things just, I'm sure, in Pete Carroll's mind, it could not possibly have gone any better than it did today.
No, it could not have. And you see Pete Carroll still out there coaching him up, still upset, still hot under the collar, still doing his job, but the rest of the guys on the sideline, some of them taking off their shoulder pads. Matt Barkley, you see all the smiles on the USC sideline. Just couldn't have gone better for them. Sure, they would have liked to have avoided some of the turnovers in the first quarter, but they really did overcome that adversity and just play fantastically.
Final play of the ball game now, and it doesn't go any better than most of the other plays have. This one's going to be about an 8-yard, maybe a 10-yard loss on the last snap of the game, and the USC Trojans will